Hey everyone, welcome to our channel, and thank you for your support. If there's a favorite novel on the channel and you want the next part, you're just one step away. Become a Patreon member and I can make it depending on your tier. Thank you for your attention.
The character creation has been completed. Please select the birthplace. A beautiful female voice rang in the ear, awakening Healy. Choose the place of birth? Didn't I blew the summoning station? Am I dead? Healy muttered to himself, with a group of question marks in his head, constantly looking around. At this time, he was on a battlefield with ruined walls and corpses everywhere. These corpses included angels, demons, dragons, elves, giants, etc., thousands of races. As long as you look carefully, you can find them in this battlefield. This battlefield is not real, but a similar animation scene, which is the opening scene of the virtual game Lord World login. For Healy, this scene is familiar and unfamiliar. Looking around, Healy quickly determined one thing. He seemed to be reborn. 10 years ago, when the Lord's World had just started serving, he should have just established an account at this time. Realizing that he was reborn, Healy's body trembled a little. At this time, he wanted to cry. However, he quickly suppressed his emotions and said with a trembling tone, "Evelyn Mountains, the specific coordinates are manually selected. The map is locked on the map." When there was a vast mountain range, Healy began to quickly manipulate the selection interface. The map of Lord's World is very large. It is only a map opened directly to the player, and a little bit of searching. It is estimated that the map will not be completed in 10.5 months. As for the specific coordinates, who is okay to play with the coordinates? Fortunately, Healy is very familiar with an area in the Evelyn Mountains, and quickly found the location he wanted, and then hesitated at all. He chose to enter the game. The light flashed, and the next moment, Healy appeared in a primitive mountain range with towering trees everywhere. Healy did not look around, but quickly flipped through his own information page. Lord Healy. Faction, Human. Level, LV1. Grade, Normal. Strength, 4. Speed, 4. Physique, 4. Spirit, 4. Talent, Lord Space, only. Summoning Station, LV1 Night Catwoman Summoning Station, Hero. Skills, none. Equipment, none. Gold coins, 1000. Other resources, none. Lord's Space, only have a huge Lord's Space, and you can directly place the summoning table you own in the Lord's Space without establishing a territory. Summoning Station places the Lord's Space with passive effects, level +1, rank +1. The current number that can be placed, 1/1. The resource point is placed in the Lord's Space with a passive effect, an increase of 1 level. Number of placement, unlimited. The Summoning Station placed in the Lord's Space, recruiting units does not need to pay commissions. Note, the unique attribute refers to the skill or item, there is only one, and it is unique. Looking at the attribute information alone, this is undoubtedly a normal start for Healy, but his talent and the Summoning Station are definitely the start of the European Emperor. Summoning stations are not owned by everyone. According to statistics from previous lives, the number of players who have a summoning station at the beginning is about 1 in 100,000. There is also a summoning station given at the beginning, and the level will not exceed the 3rd level. But even so, players who had a summoning station at the beginning of the previous life will not be too bad afterwards, unless they are unlucky or have a bad brain. Everyone has talents. If you are lucky, you can awaken a god-level talent. If you are unlucky, you may awaken a junk talent. This is completely dependent. If there is a talent that is particularly against the sky, as long as you don't waver, you can get ahead. It's not difficult. For example, Healy knew someone with a god-level talent in his previous life, and her talent was a god-level resource point upgrade technique. Resource point upgrade, god level you can upgrade the selected resource point by 1 level. Cooling time, 3 days. Note, the same resource point can only be upgraded once. In the world of Lords, there are 5 clear levels of resource points: elementary, intermediate, advanced, super, and supreme. But above these 5 clear levels, Healy also knew that a kind of spiritual resource point existed. To obtain spiritual resource points, in fact, you only need to use the resource point upgrade technique on the best resource points. Healy's talent is unique, stronger than god-level talent. Take the resource point upgrade technique, one of the several attributes attached to Healy's talent has this ability, and Healy can pack resource points into the Lord Space. As long as he does not die, no one can snatch his resource points. In the previous life, Healy had such a start to the European Emperor, but in the end he did not aspire to the top of the world. During the Golden Development period, he did not make great achievements. After the Lord World merged with the real world, he was imprisoned and became a superpower. Tools dedicated to the production of resources. The previous failure was mainly because Healy had too high expectations for himself. After learning about the talent of Lord Space, he did not immediately integrate the summoning stations he had, because his summoning stations were only a Tier 1 Night Catwoman summoning station. Although the rank has reached the hero rank, the rank is only 1 rank after all. The rank of the Lord's World, Ordinary, Elite, Crowned, Hero, Dominate. In the previous life, after understanding the talent of Lord Space in detail, Healy positioned the target of fusion to a summoning station of at least Tier 13 or above. If he can get a Tier 13 summoning station and then integrate it, he can directly summon Tier 14 units. Equal level system, 1 to 3, beginner, 4 to 6, intermediate, 7 to 9, higher, 10, holy, 11, holy first. The 14th order arms are the holy 4th order arms. At that time, because he did not have a deep understanding of the world of the Lord, Healy believed that the rank is more important than the rank. Moreover, Healy's possession of the Emperor is more than that. On the first day of the game, he received a task about the angel summoning station. As long as he can complete the task, he can get an angel summoning station. The angel summoning station is 14-tier crown summoning station. In this way, Healy, who had the message of the angel summoning station, naturally gave up the Dark Knight Catwoman summoning station. It's just that Healy never expected that the mission of the angel summoning platform was a huge pit. He wasted a lot of time in it. Every time he saw hope, he submitted a new serial task. Not to mention the task, he invested a lot of financial resources. He also invested a lot of time, usually did not pay attention to the development of the territory. If it were not for the perverted passiveness of the Lord Space that can increase the resource point by 1 level, Healy's territory is estimated to have long been can't support it anymore. To Healy, the angel summoning station is like gambling. He has already invested so much. If he gives up directly, he will definitely be reluctant, but if he continues to invest, he will continue to suck blood until it drags him down. In the 4th year of the game's launch, Healy finally gave up the mission of the angel summoning station. This year also ushered in the pinnacle of one of his life. He found a family named Jinkla in the Evran Mountains. Ethnic tribes. The Jinkla clan is super powerful, not to mention it, they are a neutral camp. As long as you don't attack or provoke them, they will not attack actively, and they can also trade. In the Jinkla tribe, Healy found the great news that made him rise. The special product of Catwoman in the Dark Knight, the energy gem, can be exchanged for gold mine resource points here. 2 super energy gems, you can change to a super gold mine resource point. The output of gold mine resource points is determined by the level of the gold mine. The primary level is 1000 gold coins per day, the intermediate level is 3000 gold coins per day, the advanced level is 10,000 gold coins per day, the super is 30,000 gold coins per day, and the top grade is 100,000 gold coins per day. P.S. Regarding data, this type of article, because it is relatively fast to upgrade in the early stage, the attribute data will definitely appear frequently, and the author will try to delete it. Later, readers have already had a systematic understanding of the data, and the author will naturally not write more here. Regarding the belongings, the author has written 2 articles with more than 1 million words. When talking about these data, more time was wasted than normal code words. Normally 2000 words, if the author is in the state, it takes 40 minutes. If there are data, it may take an hour or even longer. The most tricky thing is that these data numbers are a long string, which only counts as 1 word. In some apps, Arabic numerals do not count the number of words. Saying this in advance is that someone in the back of the province said what water word count and other remarks. To be honest, before they are put on the shelves, they are all free chapters, so there is no need to entangle them. In addition, before the shelves, there are 5 small changes every day, and the small number does not reach 2000 words, and the minimum number of chapters on the shelves is 2000 words per chapter. Specifically, a single chapter will be opened later. The author is here to write a book for the first time. Try it first, and then adjust it if it doesn't work. I want to say, that's about it. The author usually doesn't force it too much, and the code is over. I hope that this book will not be too cold, at least so that the author can maintain food and clothing. As long as there is hope, he will not be an eunuch. Asterisk. As for the super energy gems, 1 tier 1 Catwoman can produce 1 per day. In 4 years, Healy has accumulated a large number of Catwoman in his hands, as well as a large number of super energy gems. So Healy's spring came. He used a large number of super energy gems to exchange for super gold resource points from the Jinkla family, and then income to the Lord Space. These gold resource points were passively upgraded to the highest grade, and each resource point was only a day can provide 100,000 gold coins. In just a few days, Healy accumulated the wealth of a wealthy country. With the money, Healy locked his target on the mission of the angel summoning station. The mission was sad. In front of having a huge amount of gold coins, it's a trivial matter to spend money. As long as he pays the starting price, there are countless people willing to work for him. In the past 4 years, only 1/3 of the task process was completed on his own. With the blessing of money, it took less than half a year to complete all the tasks of the angel summoning station. After finishing all the tasks of the angel summoning station, Healy knew that the previous process was 1/3. However, Healy underestimated the greed of human nature. After all, the power he hired with money was an external force, not his own. Under the temptation of a large enough interest, these people aimed their butcher knife at Healy, the angel summoning station. Before he got it, he was snatched away by a big power. It's just that, because the angel summoning table is bound to Healy after he completes the task, even if others get the angel summoning table, they can't use it. However, things have reached this point. Naturally, these people can no longer give the summoning station to Healy. Instead, they are moved by the huge wealth that Healy possesses. Of course, in the half year of the mission of the angel summoning station, Healy was not at all undeveloped. He used money to open the way. There is no special army under his hand, but the ordinary middle-level arms, he has accumulated millions in his hands. The number of arms in the army is more than 100 million. With so many arms, the monthly employment costs that need to be consumed are 100 million, not to mention the recruitment costs. Of course, these gold coins are just a piece of cake for Healy, and the last thing he lacks is gold coins. As for the high-level summoning stations, Healy only has a few in his hand. In this kind of battles that cost millions or even billions of arms, they can almost be ignored. The sources of high-level units in his hand are mostly purchased from other players who have high-level summoning stations. At the beginning of the war, Healy was almost alone against hundreds of thousands of players, or even millions of players. In the tug of war for nearly half a year, Healy's troops were maimed and destroyed, and he was finally captured. No way, Healy wasted too much time on the angel summoning platform, which caused him not to have a high-level summoning platform himself. The game has been started for 4 years. During this period, the map that players can normally explore has long been searched. Summoning stations, resource points, and even wandering units are as clean as being swept by locusts. Those unknown maps, such as the Evelyn Mountain Range, rely on luck to find them, and these maps are located in overseas continents or foreign spaces, and there is no way to directly lead troops to crusade. Healy can only choose to buy a summoning station at a high price, and those who have a high-level summoning station will not sell it at all. The benefits of a high-level summoning station are unlimited, let alone the units they summon, they can be sold to at that time. Healy, a high-level army recruited from 10,000 to 20,000 gold coins, sold to Healy even to reach 1,000,000 gold coins, which was such a huge profit. The price of the fierce war. At this time, Healy has been struggling to cope with the siege and has no time to attack the tribes with high-level summoning stations. Not long after Healy was caught in the game, the Lord world merged with the real world. He, who had been offline to avoid him, was caught after the world merged, and then he became a tool for the big power to produce gold coins. Such a muddle-headed day lasted for 5 years, until something that made him unbearable happened. He blew himself up on the summoning station and chose to die with the other high-level staff. Originally, Healy's territory was gone, and naturally there was no summoning station. However, when the war failed, he still integrated the summoning station of the Night Catwoman into the Lord's space. He did this at the time because he didn't want people to know about the energy gem, but didn't expect this summoning station to become his last killer move. The self-explosive summoning station is extremely powerful, especially the higher-level summoning station. After the Night Catwoman's summoning station is integrated into the Lord space of Healy, the grade is upgraded to the Master. Its explosive power is even more powerful than that of a small equivalent nuclear bomb. Even more powerful. I went through all the previous life in my mind a bit, and made sure that the talents and the summoning station did not change after the rebirth. Healy quickly chose the Fusion Summoning Station Fusion Night Cat Summoning Station. Ding! The Night Cat Demon Summoning Station has been successfully integrated. Grade +1, level +1, please check for details. The system sounded. Check. In his heart, Healy opened the Lord space, and found a Catwoman statue erected in the center, which is the Catwoman Summoning Table. Night Catwoman Summoning Table. Faction, Orcs. Level, LV2. Grade, Dominate. Summon Catwoman in the Dark Night. There was not much information from the summoning station. Healy glanced at it, and it was the same after fusion with him in the previous life, so he directly began to summon Catwoman. The next moment, Guangua flashed. A girl with a height of about 1.7 meters and a slender figure but a very large upper circle, black and purple cat ears, black and purple cat tail, wearing leather armor, appeared in Healy's insight. Meow. Seeing the Catwoman who appeared, Healy was excited about the game, because he was familiar with this Catwoman. The first time he summoned in the previous life was also this Catwoman, and this Catwoman has too many fond memories of him, such as his first woman. A Meow accompanied Healy for 5 years. In the last battle, only the First Order A Meow led thousands of Catwoman in the Dark Night. In order to protect Healy, all of them died in front of him. At that time, Healy actually having already lost, he himself was even frustrated, but A Meow swears to guard him until the last moment. Master, please tell A Meow. A Meow looked around. After seeing Healy, she immediately knelt down in front of Healy, lowering her cerebellum and lovingly said. Healy did not speak, but reached out his hand and stroked A Meow's cheek and hair. A Meow took the initiative to raise her little head a bit to make Healy more comfortable, while she herself half squinted her eyes, enjoying Healy's AI strokes. Get up, by the way, give me your special product. Healy let go, and A Meow's eyes flashed a little bit of dismay, but she was quickly hidden by her. A Meow stood up, without saying much, with his right hand. At the stall, 2 red quail egg-sized gems condensed. Energy gems, extreme quality. It is said that energy gems are the seeds that form mineral veins. Many aborigines are very interested in energy gems and can sell them at a good price. The introduction of energy gems is very vague. Healy in his previous life always regarded energy gems as good-looking stones before meeting the Jinkla tribe. It is dispensable. After getting the superb energy gem, Healy took the time to check A Meow's attributes. Dark Night Catwoman, female A Meow. Faction, Orcs. Level, LV2. Grade, Dominate. Strength, 80. Speed, 392, 280 plus 112. Physique, 80. Spirit, 72. Specialty, Energy Gem, Extreme 2/Day. Skills, Dexterity, Dark Night Cat. Combat Talent, Swift, Dark Knight Space, Master Skill. Equipment, Dark Knight Leather Armor, Suit, Bloodthirsty Claw, Weapon. Dexterity, Passive Silent Walking, Talent of Catwoman in the Dark Knight. Night Cat, Passive Speed increased by 40%. Combat Talent, Passive awakens combat memory, attributes cannot be reflected. Remarks, the rank is the same, and in good condition, single kills can be completed quickly. Swift, active after opening the skill, the speed is doubled, the duration is 30 seconds, and the cooling time, 5 minutes. Dark Knight Space, Master Skill. After turning on the skill, you can escape into the void, immune to all attacks, and enter the invisibility state, with a 99% reduction in movement speed. Attack again, leave the void, and the immunity state disappears. Duration, equal order * 5 minutes. Cooling time, 1 hour. Remarks, when the rank reaches the 12th rank, there is no cooling time, and the skill state can be switched freely. A Meow's attributes are very abnormal. The total number of 4-dimensional attributes has reached 624. You must know that the total number of first-order 4-dimensional attributes is only 16 for ordinary rank arms. In other words, ordinary quality arms, even if it is a 14th rank, the initial total attribute is also 400 points less than the total attribute of a Meow who dominates the quality. You know, a Meow now has only a second order. Of course, every time a unit advances to a rank, there will be a rank improvement, which is not calculated intuitively. The ranks are the elementary, intermediate, high, and holy ranks. After the 10th rank, every rank increase is equivalent to a rank increase. Regarding the high-level arms, there is another key point, that is, skills. The ordinary class has only 1 skill, 2 elites, 3 crowns, and 4 heroes. When it comes to dominating, there will be 1 more dominating skill. Dominating skills are similar to big moves and belong to a powerful existence that disrupts balance. Healy in the previous life was a little bit up for the angel summoning stage, and has been neglecting to train the Catwoman of the night. It was Healy who led the way forward. Suddenly a Meow stopped in front of Healy and made a fighting posture. Master, there is danger ahead. Don't worry, it's okay. Healy, whose thoughts were interrupted, returned to his attention, pulled back to a Meow, and even directly embraced her slender waist. Being hugged by Healy like this, a Meow's face instantly became ruddy, a pair of cats shrank back, and the cat's tails behind him moved restlessly, as if to express the confusion of its owner at this time. Step, step, step. There was a dull sound of footsteps in front of him. 2 humanoid creatures over 3 meters tall, golden, bald, without eyebrows, and needless approached Healy. Human, tell me what you are here. 2 golden giants walked more than 10 meters in front of Healy. One of them was slightly higher and opened his mouth. I have energy gems and want to exchange gold mine resource points. Healy spoke proficiently because of his long experience. What level of energy gems? I can redeem them for you. The golden giants are members of the Jinkla clan, and each of the Jinkla clan is a rank 15th rank. In the world of lords, the Jinkla clan is almost invincible, which is why they can clearly create gold resources, but no one enslaves them. 2 superb energy gems. While talking, Healy took out the 2 gems he had just brought from a Meow and handed them to the golden giant who was talking to him. I like your straightforwardness, human beings. This is your best gold mine resource point. My name is RAF. You will be my friend from now on. A golden energy rune condensed from the brows of the golden giant RAF, and he took this golden energy rune. After handing the text to Healy, he said to Healy very friendly, my name is Healy, and I am very happy to be your friend. If possible, please wait for a while. I still have some energy gems, and I can bring some energy gems every day. Healy told me in advance. RAF greeted him and asked him to call someone over for help. Because Healy is very familiar with the Jinkla family. As far as he knows, the Jinkla family does not condense gold resources infinitely. A super gold mine can only condense 10 gold resources a day. I haven't tried it, but in terms of energy, a gold keel can only condense 1 top quality gold mine resource point a day. Okay. RAF agreed, and let another Jin Keela wait in place, and he personally went back to call someone. Healy did not stay here and directly used the gold mine resource points, but left with a Meow. Found a place with no one, Healy merged the top gold mine resource points into the Lord space. The attributes of the top gold mine resource point immediately changed. From the gold mine resource point, the top product 100,000 gold coins/day to the spirit mine resource, spiritual product 50 soul coins/day. Ha ha ha, sure enough, sure enough. Seeing the gold mine turned into a spirit mine, Healy laughed presumptuously. When he was imprisoned in the previous life, he knew someone who had the skill to upgrade resource points. Like Healy, he also became a tool of imprisonment by big forces. She once told Healy that he was superb after the gold mine uses the resource point upgrade technique, it becomes a spirit mine. Thinking of that person, Healy's heart suddenly hurt, but he was soon hidden. Spirit coin usage, use 1 spirit coin to increase the chance of summoning once, and 9 spirit coins can be used in each summoning interval. 2 use spirit coins to upgrade the summoning station and other ranks. 3 spirit coins can be exchanged for gold coins with a ratio of 1:10,000. Note, only spirit coins can be exchanged for gold coins, and gold coins cannot be exchanged for spirit coins. Asterisk. Spirit coins are extremely powerful, and Healy knows the 3 uses of spirit coins to directly bind the Night Catwoman summoning station without hesitation at all. The 50 spirit coins soon arrived in Healy's hands. Without much thought, Healy first used 9 spirit coins and directly summoned 9 second-tier Dark Night Catwoman again. The first use of spirit coins is to increase the summoning limit of the summoning station by 10 times. For example, the original Dark Night Catwoman summoning station can only summon 1 per day. With 9 spirit coins, he can summon 10 in 1 day. However, if it is a summoning station that is summoned once a week or once a month, the use of spirit coins can only increase the chance of summoning 9 times a week or a month. As for the second use of spirit coins, Healy is most concerned about it, because in this way, he can train the Night Catwoman's summoning platform to a higher level instead of only the second level. In the world of lords, the rank and level of the summoning station is difficult to improve, unless it is some treasure that can break the rules and guard the sky, and the spirit coins are actually treasures that can break the rules. 9 Catwomen appeared. Healy didn't say much, collected the 18 energy gems they produced, and then quickly went to the place he had agreed with RAF. When Healy came, Lafa was already waiting for him with hundreds of Jinkla people. From a distance, one could see a dazzling golden crowd, and the sun was dazzling. After a brief greeting, the 18 top-grade energy gems have become 9 top-grade gold mine resource point runes, and then the 2 sides discussed to continue trading tomorrow, and then left each. It is worth mentioning that the gold mine resource point rune, as long as it is crushed, will quickly generate a gold mine of the corresponding level in the place where it is used. The 9 top-quality gold mine resource points were collected by Healy into the Lord's space, and they quickly became 9 spiritual mine resource points. The number of spirit coins in Healy's hand also directly reached 499. It takes 200 coins to upgrade the first tier summoning station to the second tier, and 400 coins to upgrade the second tier to the third tier. The Night Catwoman summoning table is now tier 2, and the spirit coin in Healy's hand is just enough to raise it to tier 3. Night Catwoman summoning table. Faction, Orcs. Level, LV3. Grade, Dominate. Summoning speed, 1 PC/1 day. Required for summoning, 400 gold coins/piece. Dark Night Catwoman attributes, tier 3, Master. The third tier summoning station has not changed much, but when the summoning station is upgraded, a Meow and the others also automatically upgrade to the next level. Dark Night Catwoman, female Meow. Faction, Orcs. Level, LV3. Grade, Dominate. Strength, 120. Speed, 588, 420 plus 168. Physique, 120. Spirit, 108. Specialty, Energy Gem, Extreme Product 3/day. Skills, Dexterity, Dark Night Cat. Combat Talent, Swiftness, Dark Space, Dominant. Equipment, Slightly. Because the Dark Night Catwoman is the master of the rank, every time it is upgraded, the 4-dimensional basic attribute must be increased by 256 points. With the passive of the Dark Night Cat Demon, each level increases the speed by 56 points, which is equivalent to Dark Night. Every time Catwoman increases by 1 level, she can increase her attributes by 312 points, which is absolutely perverted. Ascended to tier 3, Meow and the others, the number of specialty energy gems has increased again, 3 per day. Soon, Healy had 10 more energy gems in his hand, and he hurriedly went to the Jinkla family to exchange for 5 top-grade gold mine resource points again. It's not that Healy is troublesome, but if he exchanges it tomorrow, he would have lost 250 coins of income today. Now is the early stage. Healy wants to eliminate all waste as much as possible. Healy now has 340 spirit coins in his hand, and 1,000 spirit coins are needed for the summoning station to upgrade from tier 3 to tier 4. It is no longer possible to upgrade the Night Catwoman summoning station today. Of course, this does not mean that there is nothing to do. Meow stayed, and the others scattered around. Except for the territory of the Jinkla tribe, they all explored. I want to know the racial divisions and resource points nearby, Healy commanded, and the 9 Catwomen quickly disappeared. Into the forest. Healy pulled over a Meow, put his hand where it should be, carefully, *. P.S. Chapter 5 has been released. If it is not released, just click in from the catalog. Of course, Healy didn't continue to do other actions except Wang Yuan in his hands. There is no other reason. Although this place is near the Jinkla tribe, it is in the wild after all. If he really did some field battles and other acts of exploring the mystery of the origin, and was attacked, wouldn't it be wrong to die? Catwoman in the Dark Night was born as an assassin and a sentinel, and within half an hour before and after, the Catwoman who had left returned one after another. Bring a lot of information to Healy. There are many resource points around here, but there are only 3 races and tribes, 2 of the 9th order. They are the subspecies of the Earth Dragon and the Crypt Demon Spider, and the 3rd race is Baimun, which is a sacred existence of the 10th order. In addition to the 3 tribes, there are dozens of resource points left, but these resource points are all occupied by the 3 tribe creatures that have just been discovered. Basically, each of these wild tribes will have a summoning station, that is to say, they can also use the summoning station to summon their tribesmen. The only restriction to these wild ethnic tribes is that they do not have as easy access to resources as players. Players like Healy, as long as they occupy resource points, will continue to produce resources because of the rules. And these wild ethnic tribes think to obtain resources, they need to do it themselves, such as gold coins. They need to mine gold mines, obtain gold ore, and then smelt them into gold coins before they can be used. However, some beast races, or some races that are not issued by handicrafts, can't be used. To smelt gold coins, you can only use gold ore to trade with tribes that have the ability to make gold coins. During this period, how many times they will cost depends entirely on the greed of the seller. Of course, in addition to trading, it can also be plundered. Moreover, in the world of lords, plundering is the main theme, and only if it is impossible to plunder, some races will choose to trade. Therefore, the speed of the summoner's development in the wild tribes is much slower than in the hands of players like Healy. Master. While Healy was studying the information brought back by the Catwoman, the last Catwoman also came back, and this Catwoman was holding a small golden box in her hand, which attracted Healy's attention. Treasure chest in the wild. Healy knew this little chest. In the world of lords, there are some wild treasure chests. When you open these treasure chests, you will randomly get some resources, props, equipment, or skill books. Of course, most of the treasure chests are resources. There is no level difference between these treasure chests. All treasure chests are the same. There may be artifacts opened in them, or hundreds of gold coins may be opened, depending on personal luck. The palm-sized golden treasure chest contains a large space. The treasure chest is similar to a space equipment. After obtaining the item, the treasure chest will not disappear. The person who owns it can use it as a space storage item. It is worth mentioning that the treasure chest can only be opened by the player, and the natives of the Lord World cannot open the treasure chest in the wild unless they are the original owner or heir of the treasure chest. Open the treasure chest. Without hesitation, Healy directly chose to open it after getting the treasure chest. The treasure chest opened and Healy obtained a skill book and 10,000 gold coins. Not to mention gold coins, Healy does not lack this thing. After all, a spiritual coin is equal to 10,000 gold coins. Healy focuses on the skill book. Investigation, skill book active skills. After using the skills, you can detect the attributes and skills of the selected target. Scouting skills are not combat skills. Learning is not restricted, but this skill is very important, and this skill is very difficult to obtain. Healy did not lack gold coins in his previous life, and he still has not acquired this skill. Asterisk. Chapter 7 Subspecies Earth Dragon. Let's go, we will meet the Tier 9 subspecies Earth Dragon. Healy took the empty treasure chest away and waved his hand to signal the 10 Catwomen to leave. The subspecies of Earth Dragon was chosen as the first target mainly because of the quantity. Although the subspecies of Earth Dragon is the same as the Crypt Demon Spider, it is of the 9th order, but according to the information returned by Catwoman, the subspecies of Earth Dragons there are only about 60 adult earthworms in the tribe. On the Crypt Demon Spider, there were 109 tier Crypt Demon Spiders. Moreover, Healy has some knowledge about Crypt Demon Spiders. The most disgusting thing about this creature is some small spontaneous spiders that breed, which is a very uncomfortable species. Under the guidance of Catwoman who discovered the location of the subspecies Earth Dragon tribe, Healy and his party quickly came to a mountain col and saw the Earth Dragon living here. These subspecies of Geosaurus are grass green, 7 or 8 meters long and 3 to 4 meters high. If they are enlarged lizards, their heads are somewhat similar to rhinoceros, with horns and no wings. Exploration. The newly learned exploration skills were directly used by Healy, and the attributes of this line of Earth Dragons were immediately mastered by him. Subspecies Xanthosaurus, male. Faction, Dragon. Level, LV9. Grade, Elite. Strength, 176, 80 *2 plus 16. Speed, 176, 80 *2 plus 16. Constitution, 176, 80 *2 plus 16. Spirit, 96, 48 *2. Specialty, none. Skills, Body of Steel, Passive Beast, Dragon Bloodline, Earth Dragon Breath. Body of Steel, Passive Beast Dragon scales on the surface of the body possess extremely high defense. Note, beasts cannot wear equipment. Beast units have one more passive skill than humanoid units. Dragon Bloodline, the body contains a small amount of Dragon Bloodline, which increases strength by 10%, physique by 10%, and speed by 10%. Earth Dragon Breath, Breath of Dragon Breath, causing large-scale burning damage, cooling time, 5 seconds, invalid to creatures with physique over 96 points. The 9th Order Earth-Traveling Dragon has inferior attributes to the 3rd Order Dark Knight Catwoman. It can be seen that the simple rank is not all the strength, and the rank is equally important. The total attribute of this 9th tier Earth-Traveling Dragon is only 624 points. When the Dark Knight Catwoman was in the 2nd tier, the total attributes of the 9th Order Earth-Traveling Dragon were the same. Now the 3rd tier Catwoman has a total attribute of 900. Many, more than 300 taller than Seeing DeLong. Disperse around, and attack the lone Earthwalker first. If you are found, get out of the battle immediately. Don't fight it hard. After checking the attributes and skills of the Earthwalker, Healy pondered and ordered the Catwoman next to him. Road. Under Healy's order, 10 Catwomen, except Amayo who was still protecting him by Healy, the other 9 Catwomen scattered and disappeared. Catwoman's fighting style is not passionate, but a bit boring. After Healy gave an offensive order for more than 10 minutes, there was no movement at all. Master, there. Nearly 20 minutes later, Amiao pointed his finger at a location and reminded Healy. Healy, who was waiting for a bit boring, suddenly came to his senses and looked at the position where Amiao was pointing. It's an earth-walking dragon, coming out of the mountain COL, it should be going to excrete, so it's out of the group. Although Earthwalker is a beast type of unit, it also has a high level of wisdom. It will definitely not shit in the place where it lives, like a beast, but will leave a little bit. He Liguang saw Xing Delong, but he didn't see Catwoman. However, Catwoman didn't let Healy wait any longer. As soon as Earthwalker came out, a bush next to it suddenly moved, and a black shadow passed by Earthwalker. The Earth Dragon, which was still advancing, hadn't even reacted. A huge wound was drawn under its neck, and a large amount of blood spurted out. When Catwoman of the Dark Knight fights, her hands have strong claws, and the claws are activated, which can eject a claw blade that is 30 or 40 centimeters long. This sudden sneak attack basically declared the end of the life of the Earth Traveler. However, as a Tier 9 troop, the Earth Dragon has strong vitality. If it simply cuts its arteries, it will not be able to kill it for a while. It is estimated that it can at least escape back to the COL. However, Dark Knight Catwoman didn't give Xing Delong this opportunity. After successfully cutting her throat, Dark Knight Catwoman came to one of Xing Delong's front legs, and then cut the sinews of her legs with one claw. In this way, Catwoman quickly cut off the other 3 hamstrings of Xing Delong. Once the tendons were broken, they were basically useless, and she couldn't even move one step. The throat was cut at the beginning. Not only the arteries were damaged, but the vocal cords were also damaged, and there was no sound at all. A few minutes later, the dethroned Earth Dragon, his life came to an end. The speed of Dark Knight Catwoman was higher than that of Earth Dragon. In addition, the Catwoman who sneaked on Earth Dragon also used the Swift skill, and the speed was doubled, causing such a spike to happen. Asterisk. Meow, take this box and put back the corpse of the Earth Traveler. Seeing the death of the Earth Traveler, Healy took out the gold box and handed it to me. After receiving the box, Meow's eyes flashed a little doubt, but she didn't say much. According to Healy's instructions, she took the gold box to collect the body of the Earth Traveler, and then returned to Healy's side and continued to serve as a bodyguard. Work. Even though the Catwoman of the Dark Knight did her work neatly, she still made some noise. 5 or 6 subspecies of Earth Dragons in the COL took heavy steps and slowly came out to investigate the situation. The blood of the previously hunted ground dragon attracted the attention of the 6 new ground dragons. They walked in the direction of the bloodstain, much faster, and surrounded the bloodstain, constantly sniffing. It was also these earth-traveling dragons that were lazy. The fighting had taken place for 5 or 6 minutes before they wandered out. At this time, the body of the ground-traveling dragon was taken away. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Just as these line dragons inspected the scene of the criminals, the 9 Catwomen who had been hiding in ambush immediately shot out. In a one-on-one situation, the Catwoman who sneaked into the attack can instantly kill the Earth Dragon, let alone 9-on-6 at this time. The 6 earth-moving dragons didn't come out with any spray, and in an instant, they became 6 predetermined corpses that were scrapped. Roar, roar. This hunting caused a much louder noise than the one that was killed just now. The remaining earth-traveling dragons in the COL were themselves alert. At this time, it seemed as if they had stabbed a hornet's nest, and the remaining earth-traveling dragons roared out loudly. The sound rushed out. The speed of the earth-traveling dragon rushing out was much faster than the lazily wandering out before. Before the 6 corpses were collected, the Catwomen all went into hiding. You go help too, Healy told Amiao on the side. But master, your safety. Amiao didn't do it this time, but looked at Healy worriedly. Don't worry, this place leaning on the Jinkla clan is also the land of the earth-traveling dragon. Except for the earth-traveling dragon, there will be no danger. Healy comforted. Yes. Amiao's eyes were worried about not going away, but she would not resist Healy's order. The hesitation just now was also because of worrying about Healy's danger, not disobeying him. Amiao just arrived on the battlefield and hid himself. More than 50 earth-moving dragons appeared and looked at the 6 earth-moving dragons on the ground that were not completely dead. The rest of the earth-moving dragons exploded, roaring, trampling, and vomiting, constantly destroying all the unpleasant things around and venting. Laugh. And at this moment, a black shadow flashed. It was Amiao, who cut his throat and leaned on the edge, destroying a giant tree. Catwoman's sharp claws are the extension of 5 fingers, and 1 claw down is 5 wounds. Once they scratch the artery, it is difficult to repair. At least the 9th order subspecies of Earth Dragon has no self-recovery ability. Passively wait for death. Amiao's shot suddenly became the target of all the earth-traveling dragons. However, when Earthwalker placed the target on Amiao, Catwoman had also suddenly launched a sneak attack. Another lone Earthwalker was caught with 5 huge openings in its neck, directly destroying the arteries. There are a total of 10 Catwomen who are constantly gorillas, and if the Earth Dragon takes a single order, one will be attacked and killed. Although the Earthwalking Dragon has wisdom, it is still a beast anyway, and it cannot be compared with human beings. Besides, even if the Earthwalking Dragon is wise, they are also wise in the face of a rogue style like Catwoman at this time. Basically there is nothing to do. Earthwalking dragons also want to break through, but every time they make a breakthrough, they will usher in a large wave of Catwomen's crazy hunting. The number of surviving earthworms is rapidly decreasing, from more than 50 at the beginning, slowly becoming 30, 20, and more than 10. In the end, when there were only more than 10 left, Catwoman did not hide, and attacked directly. Catwoman's speed is 3 times faster than that of Earthwalker, and with the ability of swiftness, they are almost too fast to react. As for the breath of Earthwalker, there are only a dozen or so, which can't cause full coverage at all. There is no way to restrict Catwoman. There was only one ending left for the dragon, all turned into corpses, and they were put into the golden treasure chest by Healy *. Kill all the earth-moving dragons. Healy followed the Catwoman into the mountain kernel inside the COL. He saw a stone statue of earth-moving dragons the same size as the earth-moving dragons. Healy was familiar with the road, came to the stone statue, reached out his hand to touch the stone statue, and followed. A voice in his mind sounded, "Ding, I found an unguarded summoning station, do you get it? Get it?" Without any hesitation, Healy chose to get it. In the next moment, the huge subspecies of Earth Dragon summoning platform became a scaled-down object that was no more than 10 centimeters long and resembled a figure and was held by Healy. At this time, Healy also checked the attributes of the subspecies of Earth Dragon summoning station. Subspecies Earth Dragon summoning platform, high level. Faction, Dragon. Level, LV9. Grade, Elite. Summoning speed, 1 PC/1 day. Summoning required, 40,000 gold coins/piece. Subspecies of Earth Dragon attribute, Tier 9, Elite. Don't look at this subspecies of Earth Dragon, even the Tier 3 Dark Knight Catwoman can't beat it, but in the previous life, Healy wanted to buy one of this class, but it would cost a lot of money. Ding, the advanced summoning station is detected, and the income choice is absorbed by the Lord Space. As Healy was looking at the summoning station of the subspecies Earth Dragon, the system sound suddenly sounded. If this summoning table is absorbed by the Lord Space, what will be the effect? Healy was taken aback, and then asked. The game's system is very smart. You can ask directly about things that players don't understand, and most of them can get answers. After assimilation, you can unlock the new summoning platform fusion conditions of the Lord's Space. The system replied. Then how many advanced summoning stations are needed to unlock a new fusion condition? Healy did not rush to merge immediately, but asked. Hidden attributes have been opened, please check it yourself. This time the system did not answer Healy, but let him check it by himself. Healy didn't bother with the systematic tsundere either. At this time, his mind was thinking a lot. Of course, he was more excited. In the previous life, Healy did not integrate the Night Catwoman summoning station in the early stage. Later, he was arrested and merged with the Night Catwoman summoning station, but at that time there was no other high-level summoning station in his hand. Healy has never triggered the hiding conditions, nor has he triggered the hidden attributes of the Lord Space. This has also led Healy to always think that the Lord Space can only be bound to a summoning station. He has been cautious and cherished this place, and finally ended up sadly. Hurry up to check the information of the Lord's Space, and add the condition of the fusion summoning station, 100,000 original energy. The source of the original energy is to absorb the summoning stations above the advanced level. The 7th level summoning stations absorb 1 point of the original energy, 10 points for the 8th, 100 points for the 9th, and 10,000 for the holy level. In other words, Healy would have to take out 1,000 summoning stations of the same level as the Earth Dragon to unlock the qualifications of another Lord Space fusion summoning station. However, if it is a summoning station that absorbs the holy rank, only 10 are needed. After careful analysis several times, Healy did not directly absorb the summoning table of the subspecies of Earth Dragon. He was going to directly absorb the 10 holy steps. There is only 1 rank difference between the 9th rank and the holy rank, but the energy absorbed by the summoning platform is 100 times worse. After annihilating the Earth Dragon tribe, Healy, under the guidance of Catwoman, began to search for resource points in the Earth Dragon territory. These resource points also have guards. They are a 6th order miscellaneous dragon, and their rank is only normal. Small wyvern, female. Faction, dragon. Level, LV6. Grade, normal. Strength, 56, 28*2. Speed, 56, 28*2. Physique, 28. Spirit, 12. Specialty, none. Skills, hard scale armor, passive beast, flying acceleration. Hard scale armor, passive beast dragon scales on the surface of the body have a higher defense. Flight acceleration, when flying, get an additional 20% speed bonus. The only tricky thing about this kind of guards is that they have the ability to fly. However, they are used as defensive resource points. As long as the Catwoman on Healy is close to the resource point, they will definitely attack. In terms of attributes, even if they have the ability to fly, they will be directly killed by Night Catwoman. On average, there are about 50 small flying dragon beasts in each resource point, and there are more than 10 resource points in the territories of the Earth Dragon clan. At the end of the morning, all resource points were knocked down, and more than 500 flying dragon beasts were all turned into corpses and entered the golden treasure chest in Healy's hands. With so many corpses, the space in Healy's golden treasure chest is almost full. Asterisk. The ranks of ethnic tribes and arms in the Evran Mountains are relatively high, and the ranks of resource points are naturally not low. Of the 10 or so resource points collected, the lowest are all intermediate, among which gold mines have 1 super and 3 high. These 4 gold mines were collected by Healy into the Lord's space, and they were automatically upgraded by 1 level, and they became one of the best and 3 super, which is equivalent to an income of 190,000 gold coins every day. Of course, for Healy, gold coins are just a pile of metal in front of him, without any value. As long as he has space for the Lord, he will never be short of gold coins. The other resource points are basic logging yards and quarries, as well as a gem well. In terms of resources, Healy doesn't care very much, because these things can be bought with money. It is worth mentioning that the small flying dragon beasts are a subsidiary unit cultivated by the subspecies of Earth Dragon. Only the subspecies of Earth Dragon can cultivate them, and they do not have a summoning station. Seeing that the sky was not bad, Healy locked the target on the Crypt Demon Spider. Under the guidance of Catwoman, Healy and his team quickly came to a dry forest where the Crypt Demon Spider was. Outside the withered woods, Healy found the Crypt Demon Spider that had been coming out all the time. Without hesitation, he shot out his exploration skills directly. Crypt Spider, female. Faction, Forest. Level, LV9. Grade, Elite. Power, 140, 70*2. Speed, 240, 120*2. Physique, 100, 50*2. Spirit, 96, 48*2. Specialty, none. Skills, Explosive Spider, Passive Beast, Swiftness, Cobweb Binding. Swift, active after opening the skill, the speed is doubled, the duration is 30 seconds, and the cooling time, 5 minutes. Explosive Little Spiders, Passive Beasts 100 explosive little spiders can be produced every day. The spontaneous detonation power of little spiders is equal to a full blow with the 8th rank general arms. The lifespan of little spiders, 10 days. Cobweb Binding, spout a cobweb to trap the target, and weaken the control of creatures whose power exceeds 140 points. The greater the target creature's power, the smaller the cobweb's binding effect. Compared with the Earth Dragon, the attributes of this Crypt Demon Spider are slightly inferior, but its skills are really disgusting. Especially the self-explosive little spiders. A Crypt Demon Spider is equivalent to having 1,000 self-explosive little spiders. There are 100 Crypt Demon Spiders, that is to say, there are 100,000 self-destruct little spiders. In and around the Dead Woods, there are a lot of spider silks. These spider silks are equivalent to the eyes of the Crypt Demon Spiders, and they will be noticed by them as long as they touch them. Catwoman walking silently does not mean that they have no weight. Once the Catwoman steps on the spider silk, they will be spotted by the Crypt Spider immediately. Healy has only the Catwoman of the Dark Knight. If she fights it hard, it must be the Catwoman who is at a loss. In this case, Catwoman is a little bit by the Crypt Demon Spider Tianqi. Master, Meow is willing to take this dry forest for you. Seeing Healy staring at the dry forest, his brows frowned and opened. Meow on the side offered to ask. It's impossible to attack, let alone your 10 Catwomen. Even if you come 20 or 30, you won't be able to take down this dry wood. It is conservatively estimated that there are 100 crypt spiders and more than 100,000 small spontaneous spiders. If you go for a strong attack, you may not be able to see the Crypt Demon Spiders, and you will be blown up by the spontaneous little spiders. Healy shook his head and rejected a Meow's proposal. I'm sorry, Master, it's a Meow useless. A Meow lowered her head and blamed herself. Good. Seeing a Meow's ears drooping softly, Healy knew that she was in a bad mood, so he immediately started and touched her little head. In fact, a Meow used to be like this in the previous life. At that time, there was only a Meow who was the first rank hero, and his strength was much weaker than it is now. However, in the previous life, Healy protected Ami and even Catwoman very well. He seldom let Catwoman be a cannon fodder. In addition to being one of his summoned units, Catwoman was also because Catwoman in the Dark Knight is beautiful. All of them are legal little lowly, the OP is huge, and the moon is thinner. The most important thing is that the Catwomen are like cats, and their bones are very soft. Okay, there is a way. After pondering for a while, Healy suddenly squeezed his hand, and then said excitedly, Meow. A Meow made a meow, and her body was doubling. At this time, Healy felt that a Meow was not normal. He was not Luzai. Seeing a Meow like this, Healy, who came back to his senses, wanted to rectify her on the spot. However, Healy can still tell which is lighter and heavier. Now that the Lord's world has just opened up and every second counts, if he indulges in beauty, he is really sorry for his rebirth. Also, in the previous life, Healy was fed up with the feeling of powerlessness. He watched his woman being forced to death, and then he could only blew the summoning station and died with the enemy. In a miserable situation, Healy didn't want to experience it again. Only those who have lost know to cherish, and now Healy doesn't think he has the capital of the wave. Clean up your little fairy at night. Grabbing a handful of a Meow's tail, Healy told her to leave her. As for the way Healy thought of dealing with the Crypt Demon Spiders, it was very simple. The Crypt Demon Spiders also had resource points, and they were also guarded by the Tier 6 Spider class. Healy's plan was to find a resource point belonging to the Crypt Demon Spider, and then ask Catwoman to kill the 2 guarded Tier 6 units. The resource point is attacked, and the Crypt Demon Spider must send troops to investigate. At this time, the Crypt Demon Spider is out of the dry woods, and there is no geographical advantage, and the Night Catwoman's sneak attack is easy. The self-explosive little spider has a symbiotic relationship with the Crypt Demon Spider that produced it. As long as the crypt demon spider is killed, the self-explosive little spider it produces will die immediately. Under Healy's plan, a simple plan to fight for help took shape and was quickly put into action. Crypt demon spiders have some wisdom, but their wisdom is not even as good as that of earth dragons. Under Healy's plan to fight for help, the entire crypt demon spider clan was slaughtered before and after nearly 100, and the last 10 or so crypt demon spiders did not leave the dry woods. Healy took all the resources here. All of them were removed, and they were included in the Lord's space, and the remaining dozen or so crypt spiders did not come out. However, there were only a dozen crypt demon spiders left, which was no longer a threat to Catwoman. After taking away all the crypt demon spiders' resource points, Healy led the Catwoman to launch an attack on the dead wood. In the end, Healy only paid the price of 2 Catwoman's minor injuries, and completely destroyed the tribe of the crypt demon spider, and successfully obtained the summoning station. Crypt demon spider summoning platform, high level. Faction, forest. Level, LV9. Grade, elite. Summoning speed, 1 PC/1 day. Summoning required, 40,000 gold coins/piece. Crypt demon spider attribute, tier 9, elite. Healy confiscated both the tier 6 spider type arms or the corpse of the crypt demon spider. The corpse was collected because Healy knew that a god level item of the undead clan can transform a corpse into a skeleton undead clan, but it can only transform normal spine creatures, such as spiders and insects. The corpse cannot be transformed. In the territory of the crypt demon spider clan, there are more gold mines than Earth Dragon, 2 super, and 4 high. After being received by Healy into the Lord's space, these 6 gold mines were immediately upgraded by 1 level, which can bring Healy an extra 320,000 gold coins in 1 day, plus the previous one. Healy's gold coin income in 1 day has reached 500 and 100,000. This is not counting the resource point income of some other resources. PS, 2,400 words. I deleted a lot. I didn't expect to enter the small black room again. I was a little confused. I deleted the chapters of the content. Then I created a king and uploaded it again. I didn't want to beep at the end of each chapter. I didn't expect that I had published 10 chapters, and 2 of them went into the small black room. I asked other authors and said that during this time, I couldn't drive. It was too difficult for me. Asterisk. Master, found a behemoth approaching us. Healy, who had not left the dead wood, heard a report from a Catwoman who was investigating outside. Just one? Let's go and take a look. The behemoth is a 10th tier unit, which is also a holy level unit. Healy has never been in contact with this type of unit in his previous life. As far as Healy knows, players in the first life have forces above the holy rank, but not many. However, what Healy came into contact with in his previous life was just the tip of the iceberg. To deal with his forces, one by one was from tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands. Adding them together, including employment, only organized millions of players. Legion. Later he was caught, and that force was greatly improved because of his ability and status, but at that time he was already a prisoner, and he could only occasionally listen to the food delivery person to say a few words about the outside information, and did not know the rest. Aquastar has a population of 20 billion. Before the World of Lords and Aquastar merged, the number of players entering the game reached 4 billion. Among the 4 billion players, a few million are really not many. At most they are better than a drop in the ocean. Following Catwoman to a big tree, from a distance, Healy saw a behemoth over 5 meters tall wearing a rough blue metal plate armor and holding a mace. After seeing the behemoth beast, Healy hurriedly took a probing technique. Behemoth, male. Faction, orcs. Level, LV10. Grade, elite. Power, 468, 120 *3 + 108. Speed, 360, 63 2. Physique, 300, 100 *3. Spirit, 120, 40 *3. Specialty, none. Skill, super recovery. Equipment, simple metal armor, suit, giant mace, weapon. Super recovery, injuries can be healed quickly, physical strength and spirit have a faster recovery speed, attributes cannot be reflected, and the recovery speed is related to the rank and grade. Inheritance of strength, strength increased by 30%. Speed up buff, holy rank skill the speed is increased by 2 times. In terms of attributes alone, the behemoth's attributes are about 300 points more than that of Dark Knight Catwoman, reaching a full 1,248 points. Go up and try with 3 people. After checking the attributes of the behemoth, Healy told the Catwoman next to her. Immediately, 3 Catwoman figures disappeared from Healy's side. A few seconds later, the battle started on the beacon behemoth, and the 3 Catwomen made a sneak attack almost at the same time. However, the behemoth beast is completely different from the Earth Dragon and the Crypt Demon Spider. It actually reacted and blocked the attack of one of the Catwomen with a mace. The attacks of the remaining 2 Catwomen were successful attacks on this behemoth's body, but they were resisted by its armor and body. The cyan armor of the behemoth looked simple, but it was the key to protecting it. Moreover, the behemoth's physique reached 300, while the Catwoman's strength was only 120. Although the speed blessing allowed Catwoman to break the behemoth's defenses, it would be difficult to cause fatal injuries. On the other hand, on the side of the behemoth, although his attack speed is slow, Catwoman does not dare to take its attack. With his nearly 500 power, it is estimated that a list of Langella list has been smashed. The body may not be able to withstand it, and 80% will die on the spot. Come on together, kill it. Seeing the 3 cat ladies couldn't help but this behemoth, Healy directly ordered all the cat ladies to come together. 10 Catwomen shot at the same time, and the crushing of attributes was completely useless. The behemoth beast ignored his head, and soon suffered a lot of wounds on his body, and the cyan armor on his body was also removed by the Catwoman. After nearly 5 or 6 minutes of battle, the behemoth was completely killed. Seeing the dead behemoth, the corpse was put into the golden treasure chest, but Healy frowned and thought, a behemoth was useless, so much strength. You must know the race camp of the behemoth, but there are hundreds of behemoths. However, Healy's frowning brows quickly relaxed, because the strength of the behemoth is fixed, but now the Catwoman under Healy's strength can continue to improve, and it is rapidly improving. Asterisk. Go and search around the Jinkla territory to see if there is a teleportation altar. Leaving the dry woods, Healy ordered the Catwoman next to her. The teleportation altar is a very convenient auxiliary building, a feature of the Lord world. The world of lords is very vast, and it takes several days or even dozens of days to go from one area to another. In the wild, there is a building called the teleportation altar. As long as you find the teleportation altar, you can choose to activate it and go to the city you want to go. Of course, this city must have a corresponding portal and be open to users. Yes, or go from this teleportation altar to another teleportation altar. However, there is a problem with the teleportation altar. You must have used this teleportation altar before the coordinates of the altar are available in your records. Then, when you teleport from other places, you can activate the altar. In other words, if you want to use the teleportation altar, you first need to find the teleportation altar in the wild, and then use it once to be activated. Of course, there are exceptions, that is, if you can get a random scroll, when you use it, it will be randomly teleported to a certain teleportation altar. Healy knows that there is a teleportation altar here, because he used a random scroll and teleported to the Evran Mountains, saw the Jinkla family, and began to rise. Originally, Healy had planned the ethnic tribes of the Evelyn Mountains in his previous life. After he was rich, the most important thing he lacked was the junior and intermediate cannon fodder units. He could use the cannon fodder units to attack the Evelyn Mountains. However, in Healy's heart at that time, the angel summoning station was even more important. Moreover, the teleportation altar cannot teleport units. There is no city near the Evran Mountains where a portal is opened. Healy has hundreds of millions of troops. It is simply unrealistic to expedition to the Evran Mountains. Later, Healy patronizes and fights with people, and the dog's brain is about to come out. Where is the time to attack high-level tribes? This teleportation altar, Healy, had been used before. Knowing the approximate location, 9 cat women searched for it and quickly found it. Instructed a Meow and the others to guard nearby, Healy directly stepped onto the teleportation altar, and he typed in, Panchinch. With a flash of light, Healy disappeared on the teleportation altar. Healy calmly walked out of the portal of a giant human camp city, not knowing how far away from the Evran Mountains. The streets of the huge city are 100 meters wide, and the wide road is full of people. Most of the people who came and went were doing tasks, and some of them were well developed. After most of the day passed, there were a few spearmen or shield soldiers behind them. Basically, the players will follow more or less a few soldiers behind them. The more powerful players will follow a dozen or so, and the weaker players will follow 1 or 2. There are really few polished commanders like Healy. In the City of Lords, it is not difficult to make money. You can work for the natives of Lords, that is, NPCs, go out of the city to hunt animals or hunt and dig in the wild, and you can get gold coins. A player can earn at least 200 to 300 gold coins if he doesn't stop all day. Arms can also help with part-time jobs, and the income is not as high as that of players, but they can get about half of players. Of course, the benefits of hunting out of the city with the recruited units are greater, but hunting out of the city cannot guarantee 100% safety. At present, once ordinary players encounter several Tier 2 field units, they will have a lot of recruited units in their hands. It's going to be lost. People in the city can recruit first-tier units without a summoning station and go directly to the barracks to recruit. The recruitment fee for Tier 1 arms is 100 gold coins, Tier 2 is 200, Tier 3 is 400, Tier 4 is 1000, Tier 5 is 2000, Tier 6 is 4000, Tier 7 is 10,000, and so on. In other words, a player can get at least 2 or 3 first-tier soldiers in a busy day. Asterisk. Healy did not recruit troops to follow, but there was no such mentally ridiculous situation. At this time, everyone was working on the task, and every second counted. Who has the leisure to laugh at others? Occasionally there are 2 leisurely players who are both salted fish, and they don't even mock Healy. They can't mock Healy for being more salty than them, right? Walking along the road, constantly looking at the open store, Healy soon bought a mask in a grocery store. In the world of lords, if you don't have scouting skills, you can only recognize people by face. Healy puts on a mask, and basically no one can recognize him. Even if someone has detection skills, he can only detect his game ID. Out of the grocery store, Healy took out the summoning table of the Xing Delong and directly selected 10 summons. Healy's book immediately reduced 9 spirit coins and 440,000 gold coins. Originally, a Tier 9 subspecies Earth Dragon, the summoning price is 40,000, and the commission is 4,000 gold coins a month, but if the summoning station is not installed, choose to summon it, which requires a 10% extra price. It means that each dragon must pay 4,000 more gold coins. Fuck, what's this? Dinosaur. Which NPC summoning unit is this? How strong is it? This big green dragon, Laozi, has received it, 1 million soft sister coin, and supports face-to-face transactions. The boss who summoned the dinosaurs, is he missing a leg pendant? The thief I called 666. The 10 subspecies of jade dragons that suddenly appeared were more effective than tens of millions of sports cars bombing the streets. On the internet, some people who are shy in reality have also been released. They usually care about face in reality, and there are few blatant licking of dogs. At this time, licking of dogs is popular in the game. 10 earth-moving dragons appeared, some kneeling and licking, some who were not bad for money, and some were stunned, and they were very eye-catching. Healy didn't say much, riding on an earth-moving dragon, and then shopping with the other 9 earth-moving dragons swaggering. Healy's behavior that seemed to show off attracted enough attention along the way. At the same time, many people said they wanted to buy Xing De Long, but Healy glanced at these people who wanted to buy, then shook his head and refused. It was not until the appearance of a beautiful girl that Healy became interested in talking. This is not Healy's lust, but because the people who bought Healy to buy Xing De Long are not big people. 8 achievements are the second generation with a little money in reality. What Healy doesn't want is soft sister coins in reality, he wants gold coins in the game. The beautiful girl who appeared in front of Healy at this time was a big man in her previous life. Shui Mianhua, real name Li Muyun, is worth tens of billions in reality. Competing professional teams, there are also several gold guilds and a main battle guild. In the world of lords, Li Muyun's early achievements are much better than those of Healy's enemies. It's just that Li Muyun was a tragic figure in her previous life. She died earlier than Healy. When the Lord's world merged with the real world, a large number of indigenous forces in the Lord's world attacked the real world, and people from the real world emerged from the game, strengthened and fought hard to resist. However, the player power in the real world, compared to the natives in the world of the Lord, is still far behind, and the players are defeated steadily. In a battle, Li Muyun supported the alliance. As a result, the army was maimed and finally won a tragic victory. She had just returned to the territory with her troops, but she became the target of a powerful race in the indigenous world. The war began, but no one supported Li Muyun, and she finally died in her own territory. During the 5 years of the game, Li Muyun's reputation has been very good, and there is no negative news. Healy chose Iwaki this time. In fact, his main goal is Li Muyun. This gentleman, is it convenient to talk about it? I'm introducing myself. I am Li Muyun, ID Shui Mianhua, the chairman of the Zanyun Trade Union, and the shareholder and chairman of the MyG live broadcast platform. Li Muyun didn't know that Healy was here. Looking for her, when she opened her mouth to talk to Healy, she simply reported herself to let Healy understand her strength, so that she could continue to fight for the opportunity to talk. When Li Muyun spoke, her voice was very soft, and she didn't have the domineering attitude, which made people very comfortable. Good. Healy nodded. Under the leadership of Li Muyun, the two quickly came to a restaurant. In the world of lords, eating is very important. If you don't eat, you will die of starvation. People with no money are busy in order to get enough food. People with money naturally have to eat well. There are many special restaurants in the city. However, the consumption is very high, and it is normal to eat hundreds of gold coins for a meal. It's convenient to ask, is your unit's rank? Sitting at the table, Li Muyun asked first before the dishes came. As for the 10 local dragons, they have been taken over by restaurants. Each of these restaurants has a space for storing units. When units are collected, there will be special food and water supplies. Of course, for a unit of arms, it is necessary charge 10 gold coins. Asterisk. Chapter 14. Chapter 14. When every message arrived at Li Muyun's place, she would actually have a judgment first. Soon, a new message was passed on to her. She frowned before she said, "My men found a dragon tomb with giants inside. The dragon bones, according to the information board prompts, both dragon bones dominated the 14th order during their lifetime, and the remaining 8 were the heroes of the 12th order." Li Muyun was not optimistic about the good news, but it made Healy sit up abruptly with her half-leaning body. Why? This keel is very useful. Li Muyun saw Healy's reaction all in her eyes, and she began to make quick calculations in her heart. It's useful, when can I get the keel back? Healy didn't bargain, but asked when the keel could be got back. This is difficult. These dragons are hundreds of meters long. If they want to be shipped back, it will take a long time. Li Muyun heard Healy's question and suddenly remembered that no matter how much Healy needs, she won't be lucky, even if it is. The sky-high price is useless. I will provide you with a way. After the golden treasure chest is opened, the treasure chest can be used as a storage tool. Generally, the internal space of the treasure chest is very large. In addition, I hope that a lot of keels will be shipped back, especially 2 master-level keels. Don't miss one piece, Healy said to Li Muyun. Is that so? In this case, I should be able to ship it back before we finish today. Li Muyun communicated with his subordinates, and then replied to Healy. Okay, let's talk about trading. Healy nodded and took the initiative to bring the topic back to trading. 10 dragon bones, I want the 2 summoning stations in your hand, and also pay me 3 million gold coins. Lim Yun said loudly. Let's be sincere. I don't cheat you. Don't cheat me either. 2 summoning stands and exchanges for 10 dragon bones. If we agree, we will trade. If we disagree, no one will want this dragon bone except me. Healy was actually frightening Lim Yun, the necromancer of the cemetery camp, but they all liked the dragon's bones. Okay, Lim Yun didn't bother. She offered a high price. In fact, she was planning to pay back the money with Healy. Her bottom line was that she wanted 2 9th-tier summoning stations. Healy gave it to her directly, and she didn't bother to pay for it. Millions of gold coins wrangled with Healy. Okay, I have something to do. Take the bones back, you inform me. Healy said hello to Lim Yun, and then left the restaurant. After leaving the restaurant, Healy went straight to the central area of Iwaki City, and soon he found a shop called Lucky Shop. Speaking of Lucky Shop, we have to mention a famous cowhide figure in the past life, the god of the undead, the ruler of the undead, and the natural disaster of the undead. These 3 titles are all the same person, and his way of becoming famous can be known through his title, Undead. This person is called Li Qi in reality. He is a small gangster, a vagrant who usually buys lottery tickets when he has money. He is a complete gambler. Gold coins are used to recruit troops, but to go to the Lucky Shop. The only item in the Lucky Shop is a golden treasure chest, one for 10,000 gold coins, and the probability of opening the golden treasure chest in the Lucky Shop is more than 10 times lower than the golden treasure chest found in the wild. Spending out a few hundred gold coins and opening a unit of stone or wood are all basic operations. But no one thought that Li Qi used less than 2 million gold coins to develop an anti-sky prop. No one knows the specific properties of the props, except that Li Qi can use this prop to transform a corpse into a skeleton-like undead. There is no recruitment cost, no commission, or even food. In just 1 year after the game was launched, Li Qi had an army of tens of millions of undead men, and the more he fought, the more soldiers he had. The powerful strength in the game made Li Qi swell and arrogant. He was originally a small gangster. After he gained strength, he had a perverted personality and refused to accept anyone. He did everything according to his preferences and offended countless people in the game. Li Qi has been in the game for more than a year. Because he offended people who shouldn't be offended, he was killed directly in reality. At that time, the army of the undead in his hand had exceeded 100 million, but he died in reality and everything turned into dust. As for Li Qi's treasure that transformed the undead, it never appeared again. Even if the 2 worlds merged, the treasure never appeared again. The only thing everyone knew was that Li Qi himself once said that his treasure was opened in a gold box in a Lucky Shop. Healy has made nearly 10 million gold coins. In fact, he wants to try his luck and see if he can bet on this bad leather item. When I came to the Lucky store, there was no one in it, and the price was too expensive. How many people could afford it? Healy didn't care about so many, so he bought 999. The store automatically opened a room for Healy, and he appeared in a closed room with 999 gold treasure chests. In the next time, Healy started a crazy trip out of the box. The gold box purchased by the Lucky Shop was indeed pitted. When Healy opened the first 100 in a row, except for 2 or 3 common props and equipment, the rest were gold coins and resources. There were no more than 500 gold coins. Resources are all a unit. Asterisk. Chapter 16 Successful Undead Transformation Token. Time flickered. 2 hours later, Healy mechanically opened more than 700 gold boxes, and the whole person was a little slow. He picked up a gold box next to him. Healy instinctively just opened it and touched the object inside. It was a token-like prop. Healy didn't have any joy on his face. Because this scene has appeared dozens of times before, Healy's heartbeat will quicken when he first touches out props that are not gold coins and resources. At this time, he is no longer alive. Instinctively checked the attributes of token-like props, the tired Healy suddenly trembled at the corner of his mouth, and then his eyes widened. Undead Transformation Token, unique. It can transform corpses and bones into skeleton undead. The level of the transformed undead remains unchanged, and the level drops by 2 levels, and ordinary skills are lost. Only master skills and holy skills remain. The corpses of certain special units cannot be transformed. Fuck it, really came out? Ha 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 ha. Healy laughed wildly while holding the token in his hand. All the negative emotions accumulated before were washed away at this time. No, I have to try. Healy got up and left. However, when he saw that there were more than 200 unopened gold treasure chests on the ground, Healy hesitated. This is more than 2 million gold coins. In case he is lucky to have a rainbow, then he should open up some leather props. Took off? Thinking of this, Healy immediately sat down and started opening the box again, but this time he was filled with soul, and he was full of expectations every time he opened the box. Sometimes, the greater the expectation, the greater the disappointment. This sentence is suitable to describe Healy. He opened up to 998 golden treasure chests. After the undead transformed the tokens, there were no more good things, except for gold coins and resources, which were junk items. Hey. With a sigh, Healy opened the last gold treasure chest with gold coins in it, and Healy's last expectation was gone. Ding, 1,000 gold treasure chests have been detected. Will you consume 10 spirit coins to synthesize 1,000 gold treasure chests into treasure items? Just as Healy was about to leave to experiment with the effects of undead transformation tokens, the voice of the game system suddenly sounded. What? Healy was stunned for a moment. He never expected that Lu Anhuaming Yuyikan would actually be here waiting for him. Healy collected the gold mine before, killed 2 tribes and snatched some gold coins, plus Li Muyun gave 10 million, and he had 10.87 million gold coins in his hand, but he gave Li Muyun 29th tiers. Arms, 880,000 gold coins were spent when recruiting. When buying gold treasure chests, Healy was not obsessive-compulsive, and the resources of spirit coins were very precious, so he didn't make up for it, and directly bought 999 gold treasure chests. In addition to the golden treasure chests that Healy drove in the wild before, he has exactly 1,000 golden treasure chests in his hand, which meets one of the conditions for synthesis. Synthesize. Without thinking, Healy chose to synthesize. Please choose the treasure style. The system voice came again. Ring. After thinking about it, Healy chose the ring, because the props synthesized by the gold treasure chest must also be space props. Similar to the space ring, he synthesized the ring without problems. The next moment, Healy's room was brilliant, and all the golden treasure chests disappeared, replaced by a golden ring on Healy's right middle finger. 1000 treasure ring, it contains 1,000 huge spaces that can access non-living objects. The undead are special living entities and cannot be accessed. Note, in the 1000 treasure ring, time and space are still. In one of the spaces of the 1000 treasure ring, there were full of corpses, including earth-walking dragons, little flying dragons, and a behemoth. After all the benefits have been gained, Healy is ready to leave and try to recruit undead troops. At this moment, Li Muyun contacted Healy through subpoena. At the entrance of the lucky shop, Healy met Li Muyun. Li Muyun handed Healy a golden treasure box. Healy took it and checked it. After confirming that it was correct, he handed the 2 summoning stations to Li Muyun. At the end of the transaction, the 2 people should be prepared to say something, and then part ways. Everyone was very busy, but Li Muyun didn't mean to leave. Something? Healy asked tentatively. What? I'm curious about one thing, if you just say it, it's inconvenient. Li Muyun took a vaccination to prevent Healy from unhappy. After speaking, she observed Healy's expression. Finding that there is nothing wrong, he continued to speak. These 2 summoning stations, each of which can only recruit 1 unit of arms per day, why can you summon 10 units at a time? It's because of the spirit coin. 1 spirit coin can increase the chance of summoning. While talking, Healy handed Li Muyun a spirit coin. I don't need Healy to explain in detail when I get the spirit coin. Li Muyun knows why Healy can recruit 10 units of Earth Dragon and Crypt Demon Spider at a time. In Li Muyun's view, this spirit coin is like a cheating device. Can you exchange some spirit coins for me? I am willing to trade with the resources you need. Gold coins are fine too. Li Muyun said quickly, wanting to get more spirit coins from Healy. I don't have this anymore. Healy didn't say anything that he needs it, because saying that would not make Li Muyun retreat. He simply said no, no matter whether Li Muyun believes it or not, he will block it. She had a chance to speak again when she died. Spirit coins. Healy will not trade large sums of money. He also counts on using spirit coins to increase the level of the Night Catwoman summoning station. In other words, the spirit coin Healy himself is not enough. Unless he draws his mind, he will go out for large transactions. Moreover, the value of the spirit coin would not be too high. He had previously sold only 500,000 units of Tier 9 arms. It is estimated that the price of the spirit coin could be as high as 100,000 gold coins by Li Muyun. Asterisk. Last question. Seeing Healy was about to leave, Li Muyun stretched out an index finger. Bai was in front of her face, and her voice towards Healy was soft, as if she was acting like a baby. Few people can see this side of the strong woman Li Muyun, but Healy has no time to appreciate her style at this time, but is somewhat defensive. Say it. Can I ask you what you want the skeleton of this giant dragon for? Li Muyun still asked the question. Healy pondered for a while before speaking slowly. I am a good friend, from the cemetery camp. His talent is to give something and use the corpse to recruit skeleton troops. So strong? Just recruit troops without the summoning station. Li Muyun was surprised, her mouth opened, and Healy's angle could see the tender tongue, which made people move. Well, there is no need for a summoning station, but the skeletons are also defective. First, the level of the skeleton is 2 levels lower than that of the corpse. The second is that the original skills are not available, only their own whiteboard attributes. Healy explained, but the master skills and the saints Healy hides the things that the level skills will retain. That's also very strong. Can I purchase some skeleton arms from your friend? Li Muyun talked about the purchase and went to the place of purchase. Yes, but my friend does not accept gold coins. 3 corpses are exchanged for 1 unit of the finished skeleton arms. The minimum order is a Tier 6 corpse. Healy said his request along the way. In fact, from the very beginning, Healy decided to reveal some information that could transform a corpse into a skeleton unit, which was to prepare a deal with Li Muyun. Healy has only 1 person and collects corpses by himself. How much can he collect? And Li Muyun has tens of thousands of subordinates. When her union recruits ordinary players, the number will increase even more. With her contacts, the collection of corpses above Tier 6 is not known how many times Healy collected. Li Muyun brought 3 corpses. Healy only gave her 1 unit of soldiers. He earned 2 units for nothing, so why not do it? I feel like Tier 3 or higher is fine. Tier 1 skeleton soldiers are recruited from Tier 3 corpses. Even if they are cannon fodder, they can't hold up a large number. Skeletons don't need to eat or pay commissions. You don't have to worry about economic collapse if you save hundreds of millions. Ugly, it's a perfect unit. Li Muyun said of her thoughts. No, for units lower than Tier 6, the cost of my friend's recruitment is not worth the cost. The lowest Tier 6 is required. This can't be changed. Healy refused by using a virtual friend. How do I feel that your friend is yourself? Suddenly, Li Muyun said quietly. A woman like Li Muyun is very smart. Although Healy's lie has no loopholes, she is still aware of it. Please, I am a human camp. Healy's acting skills are good, no flaws are revealed. Isn't he still talented? Li Muyun turned into Holmes. My talent is space. While speaking, Healy snapped his fingers, and a small flying dragon corpse appeared, followed by Healy snapped his fingers again, and the small flying dragon corpse disappeared. If you use a gold treasure chest to access items, you need to take the gold treasure chest out in your hand and you can tell it at a glance. Healy's snapping his fingers is complete. It is an understatement. It must not be the gold treasure chest used. He actually uses it. 1,000 treasure ring. Li Muyun didn't fully believe in Healy, and pouted. When discussing the price just now, you made a decision without asking your friends. She said another suspicious point. I was telecommuting just now and kept communicating with him. Forget it, I won't explain it. 3 changes to 1. On this condition, can you cooperate? After 2 waves of explanations, Healy made a heart-wrenching look, no longer explain, but change the topic. 3 for 1, my side is too bad, I take 3 6th order skeletons, I can only exchange for 1 unit of 4th order skeletons, no matter how I am losing. Li Muyun's eyes still have doubts, but she is very clever and knows Healy didn't want to continue talking about the problem, so she put her doubts in her heart. Moreover, Healy just explained that there is nothing wrong with it. Healy himself is a human camp, and he really can't learn the skills of the cemetery camp. Of course, Li Muyun didn't know the undead transformation token, which was a heaven-defying item. With Healy's sternness, this piece of equipment may never be known to anyone. P.S. I just took a look at the backstage. I have rewarded 2,000, and the flowers have passed 2,000. 2 more chapters will be added today. In addition, June, please look for the first attribute in the back. Asterisk. You can use the skeleton arms you have exchanged to exchange 4 for 1, 5 for 1, or even 6 for 1. I don't like to bargain, and it's not my business. For this price, if I change it, when I establish a territory, you can find someone in charge to come over and hand over with my people. Healy is strong and does not give Li Muyun the opportunity to continue bargaining. Seeing that Healy didn't want to continue bargaining, Li Muyun also lost nothing about the price. The two said something else, and then they said goodbye to each other. Li Muyun would definitely arrange to get a Tier 6 or above corpse when she went back, but at this stage, Tier 6 and above corpses are not easy to get. In addition, she also needs to use the 20 units of Tier 9 arms that she has only obtained from the masters to develop a wave. With these 20 Tier 9 arms, Li Muyun and several key members of her staff will definitely welcome her in a short time. Come a leap forward development. On the side of Healy, separated from Li Muyun, he went straight to the trial hall in Panchinj, where he took the trial mission. The task of the trial is to upgrade the ranks and ranks. In the world of the Lord, there is no mention of killing monsters and upgrading. If you want to improve your strength, you need to take the trial task. The trial task is also simple. For example, the current Healy has the strength of the ordinary Tier 1, and his trial task is to defeat 10 ordinary Tier 2 monsters in a row. As long as he wins, he will be promoted to the ordinary Tier 2 smoothly. If you want to be promoted to ordinary Tier 3, you have to face ordinary Tier 3 monsters, kill 10 and you will be promoted. After reaching the 3rd tier, there will be 2 trial tasks. One is the elite 3rd tier, the other is the ordinary 4th tier. After receiving the elite 3rd tier, you will be upgraded to reach the elite level. If it is, the task of the grade will still be there until it is completed. At Tier 3, you can do an elite trial. At Tier 6, you can do a crown trial. At Tier 9, you can do a hero trial. And at Tier 12 you can do a dominance trial. Every time human beings increase their strength, they have to leapfrog and challenge. Only when the challenge is successful can they increase their strength. If it's just a hard fight for attributes, an ordinary Tier 1 person can't beat an ordinary Tier 2 arm in 99%. It is impossible to win 10 consecutive victories. Of course, when fighting, the whiteboard attribute is of course very important, and the equipment is also very important. If a person is equipped with all the equipment, even with treasures, ordinary Tier 3 will be very good. For example, Healy opened the golden treasure chest before. Although he opened a lot of props that he didn't like, but at least he was armed with all his equipment. Lord, Healy. Faction, Human. Level, LV1. Grade, Normal. Strength, 10, 4 plus 6. Speed, 12, 4 plus 8. Constitution, 12, 4 plus 8. Spirit, 6, 4 plus 2. Talent, Lord Space, only. Summoning Station, LV3 Night Catwoman Summoning Station, Master. Skill, Investigation. Equipment, 1000 Treasure Ring, Undead Transformation Token, Unique, Flame Suit, Elite Short Sword, Blessing Necklace. Gold Coins, 6,935. Spirit Coins, 321. Lord's World, Catwoman is invincible, 819 433 equals 492. Other resources, slightly. Lord's Space, only have a huge Lord's Space, and you can directly place the summoning table you own in the Lord's Space without establishing a territory. Summoning Station places the Lord's Space with passive effects, level +1, rank +1. The current number that can be placed, 0/1. The resource point is placed in the Lord's Space with a passive effect, an increase of 1 level. Number of placement, unlimited. Lord Space Fusion Summoning Station, Dark Knight Catwoman. 1000 Treasure Ring, it contains 1000 huge spaces that can access non-living objects. The undead are special living entities and cannot be accessed. Note, in the 1000 Treasure Ring, time and space are still. Undead Transformation Token, unique, it can transform corpses and bones into skeleton undead. The level of the transformed undead remains unchanged, and the level drops by 2 levels, and ordinary skills are lost. Only master skills and holy skills remain. Flame set, including armor, leggings, bracers, combat boots, attributes increase, strength +3, speed +5, physique +7, spirit +1, set attributes, all attributes +1. Blessing necklace, strength +2, speed +2, elite dagger, sharpness +20, sturdiness, 18. Note, the sturdiness is the elite dagger itself, and no user attributes are attached. Now Healy's total attributes have reached 40 points, that is to say, he is stronger than ordinary second-tier arms, or elite first-tier arms, simply in terms of attributes. Moreover, as a player, Healy also has a special privilege. He can select the unit of one of the summoning stations from all the summoning stations in his hand, and designate to inherit a certain skill of this unit. For example, if Healy has Dark Knight Catwoman in his hand, Healy can choose one of Dark Knight Catwoman's 4 skills to inherit after receiving the trial task. In fact, Healy has already selected it, which is the Knight Catwoman's Master Skill, Dark Knight Space. If this skill raises the ranks, once it reaches the 12th rank, it belongs to the unreasonable skill of Bug. In addition, the sharpness of a weapon is a hidden attribute. This sharpness value plays a supplementary role, not an absolute role. If the force added to the weapon is large, the damage is high, and the strength is small, the damage is low. Just like the real world, it does not exist. In online games, the weapon attack bonus is as much as it is. Scrape the opponent's calf skin with a weapon, and it is basically non-existent that you can use the damage to kill the opponent. The property of sturdiness is similar to durability. If 2 knives with both sharpness are put together, one sturdy is only 10, and the other is sturdy is 20. With sufficient strength on both sides, the sturdiness is only 10. Easy to be chopped off. There is no obvious distinction between weapons in the world of lords, and the difference is only in the attributes of bonuses. In addition to equipment, there is also a higher level of equipment, known as treasures, such as Healy's 1000 Treasure Ring and Undead Transformation Token. P.S. Take a closer look at the attributes. Asterisk. After inheriting the Dark Knight Space skill, Healy suddenly had a bold idea in his heart. If he waits to reach the elite rank, if he has another master-level summoning station in his hand, then can he inherit another master-level skill? The degree of metamorphosis of the master skill can be seen from the Dark Knight Space. It is simply the existence of Bug, especially after the rank reaches 12, it is basically invincible. Healy has the Lord Space. He only needs to use 10 holy summoning stations to absorb the Lord Space, get a second chance to integrate the summoning station, and find a heroic summoning station to integrate into the Lord Space, and then the summoning station will be of the same order. As his rank improves, he has a second master-level summoning station. Of course, for the current Healy, these are still too far away. The first thing he needs to do is to complete the trial task. The trial mission needs to enter the trial space to complete, and cannot carry troops, which means that Healy needs to fight by himself. Finding a place where there is no one, Healy directly chose to start the trial. The next moment, the surrounding scenery was distorted, and Healy appeared in a place similar to an arena. On the slate-paved ground, the dark red blood stains proved the cruelty here. Boom! A loud noise pulled Healy's thoughts back, and in front of Healy, a figure was solidified out of thin air. Healy hurriedly used the probing technique. Pikeman, male. Faction, human. Level, LV2. Grade, normal. Strength, 12. Speed, 6. Physique, 10. Spirit, 4. Specialty, none. Skill, fast forward stab. Equipment, simple standard leather armor, suit, iron spear, weapon. Fast forward stab, 50% increase in firing speed, no cooling time, need to start. Very rubbish attribute. Compared with Healy, except for 2 points higher strength, other attributes are not as good as Healy, especially speed, which is only half of Healy. In terms of skills, ordinary spearmen, the arms of the human camp, are not as good as the arms of other camps. However, the arms of the human camp have a passivity. Once the numbers gather, they will passively activate the battle formation and have some attribute blessings. Healy was originally suppressed by his attributes in the face of the pikeman. In addition, Healy was a reborn person. He had 5 years of combat experience in his previous life. There would be no such embarrassing situation that he would not have the attributes to show his combat effectiveness during the battle. After the pikemen were completely solidified, he roared and then directly pointed at Healy with his pike. On Healy's side, he didn't even need to activate the Dark Knight Space skill. He directly used the advantage of speed to avoid a shot from the opponent, and then pierced the pikeman's throat with a backhand sword. With a successful blow, Healy retreated quickly. The pikeman had been stabbed to the heart by him, and it was only a matter of time before he died. Fortunately for humans, if some other camps, such as orcs, even if you hit his vitals, they will make some mortal counterattacks. The pikeman is a human camp. He himself has nothing special. A blood hole was pierced in his throat. His eyes showed a look of horror. He threw his spear on the ground, covered his neck with his hands, and his mouth was desperately trying to breathe. But only bright red blood spurted out of his mouth, and his life was quickly drained away, and the corpse also turned into light spots and dissipated. Immediately afterwards, the second pikeman appeared, only the bright red blood on the ground, which proved that the first pikeman had come. 10 second tier ordinary pikeman. Healy can easily solve it without even having to activate the Dark Knight space skill. At this time, Healy's rank also successfully entered the ordinary second order, but Healy did not exit the trial space, and continued to choose the ordinary third order trial. In the trial of ordinary tier 3, what you met was ordinary tier 3 pikeman. Compared with tier 2, there were only some changes in attributes. Pikeman, male. Faction, human. Level, LV3. Grade, normal. Strength, 18. Speed, 9. Physique, 15. Spirit, 6. Specialty, none. Skill, fast forward stab. Equipment, simple standard leather armor, suit, iron spear, weapon. Compared to the ordinary pikeman of tier 3, Healy's total attributes are still 8 points higher than it, because Healy is also advanced to tier 2 at this time. Lord, Healy. Faction, human. Level, LV2. Grade, normal. Strength, 14, 8 plus 6. Speed, 16, 8 plus 8. Constitution, 16, 8 plus 8. Spirit, 10, 8 plus 2. Other, slightly. To deal with ordinary tier 3 pikeman, Healy also didn't need to open the Dark Knight space, but this time he took a little longer than before, and he suffered a little injury. After the completion of the ordinary tier 3 trial, this was not the end of Healy, and he continued the trial of the elite tier 3 again. This time, Healy did not hesitate to open the Dark Knight space directly. The third tier Healy has a 15-minute escape into the void and the transition time between reality. With this kind of skill, 10 elite third tier players the pikemen were all taken away by Healy. At this time, the rank of Healy were upgraded to the third rank of the elite. Lord, Healy. Faction, human. Level, LV3. Grade, elite. Strength, 30, 24 plus 6. Speed, 32, 24 plus 8. Physique, 32, 24 plus 8. Spirit, 26, 24 plus 2. Talent, Lord Space, only. Summoning Station, LV3 Night Catwoman Summoning Station, Master. Skills, Detection, Dark Space, Master Skill. Equipment, 1000 Treasure Ring, Undead Transformation Token, Unique, Flame Suit, Elite Short Sword, Blessing Necklace. Gold Coins, 6,935. Spirit Coins, 321. Other resources, slightly. Promoting to the third rank of the elite is basically the limit of Healy. If you want to upgrade to the fourth rank of the elite, the added attributes of Healy's equipment are not enough. Even if the fourth level is an intermediate level, it starts to have additional attributes of the same level. Intermediate, double attributes increased by 2 times. It doesn't work even if Healy first raises his rank and then raises his rank. As for Dark Knight Space, it was originally a very ridiculous skill, but if you want to attack the opponent, you need to be released from the void state first, and not in the void state. It can be attacked. When the opponent is strong enough, the Dark Knight Space skill can only be turned into a life-saving skill. After completing the trial, Healy did not continue to stay in Iwaki City, but went directly to the portal and teleported back to the teleport altar in the Evran Mountains. Meow and the 10 Catwomen were still loyal to staying here. As soon as Healy appeared, she felt warm in her arms and added a soft female Chiao body. Hey, be late. Healy kissed Amo's lips, and then let go of her. Meow knew the priority of the matter, did not pester Healy, and stood aside. On Healy's side, with a wave of his hand, 10 giant dragon bones appeared, and then Healy took out the undead transformation token from the 1000 treasure ring. Under Healy's operation, the undead transformation token flashed red and divided into 10 rays, wrapped around the 10 giant dragon skeletons. In the next moment, the bones of 10 giant dragons kept shaking, and piles of bones flew up and assembled, or returned to their positions, forming 10 undead bone dragons. The original white bones of the undead bone dragon are all turned black. At the same time, the attributes of the 10 undead bone dragon units can be checked without the use of exploration techniques. Undead bone dragon, skeleton. Faction, cemetery. Class, LV12. Grade, dominate. Power, 3632, 908 4. Speed, 2832, 708 4. Physique, 7264, 90842. Spirit, 2192, 548 4. Specialty, Crystal, 10 units/day. Skills, Forbidden Air Domain, Master Skill, Physique Buff, Holy Rank Skill. Forbidden Air Domain, Master Skill centered on the caster. Radius, Spirit *3 within the 3-dimensional range. No flying unit except the caster is allowed to fly. Note, this skill is invalid for rank 13 and above, including rank 13 arms. Forbidden air domains cannot be applied to units of the same rank or higher rank. The Undead Bone Dragon ranks dominate, and the default is the highest. Only the rank exceeds the 13th rank will it be invalid. Physique buff, Holy Rank skill physique increased by 2 times. Undead Bone Dragon, Skeleton. Faction, Cemetery. Level, LV10. Grade, Hero. Power, 2400, 403-2. Speed, 1080, 360*3. Physique, 1260, 420*3. Spirit, 300, 100*3. Specialty, none. Skills, Strength buff, Holy Rank skills. Strength buff, Holy Rank skill strength is increased by 2 times. Even without most of the skills, the ranks are lowered by 2. These 10 Undead Bone Dragons are still powerful, especially the 2 dominating units, with more than 10,000 4-dimensional attributes. Healy in the previous life has never seen it. As for the hero-level Undead Bone Dragons of the 10th Order, it is a bit soy sauce compared to the master-level ones, but if compared with the behemoths of the same level, the attributes are more than 4 times stronger. The difference in attributes is mainly due to the rank problem. The behemoth is only an elite level, and the Undead Bone Dragon of the 10th rank is a hero level. There is still a crown position in the middle, and the difference is naturally different. Asterisk. With the Undead Bone Dragon, Healy originally planned to plan the Beacon Behemoth summoning station tomorrow, and it can be put on the agenda tonight. 2 Tier 12 Masters, 8 Tier 10 Heroes, and 10 Tier 3 Dark Knight Catwoman. With such a powerful force, only 100 tribes of the Behemoth tribe can be easily destroyed. Healy's summoning station was also taken by Healy. Behemoth summoning platform, Holy Step. Faction, Orcs. Level, LV10. Grade, Elite. Summoning speed, 1 piece/2 days. Required for summoning, 100,000 gold coins plus 1 unit of gems/piece. Behemoth attributes, Tier 10, Elite. Originally, Healy also thought, planning to get to the summoning platform of the behemoth, not to let the Lord absorb it first. Anyway, it absorbs 1, the same as the process of accumulating 10, and the process of accumulating 10 can be used every time the spirit coin recruited 10 Tier 10 behemoths, which is also a good combat power. However, the plan has not changed fast. The appearance of 10 Undead Bone Dragons made Healy look down on the Beacon Behemoth. Simply, he directly absorbed the behemoth's summoning platform into the Lord's space, and the Lord's space is the next one. The progress of the integration quota has completed 1/10. Searched a wave of resource points occupied by the Behemoth tribe, especially gold mine resource points. There were 9 high-level ones, and 4 super ones. After being brought into the Lord's space by Healy, their ranks were all upgraded by 1 level. As a result, Healy's daily production of gold coins reached 1.18 million. You know, Limuyun has so many people who specialize in gold coins, and the output of gold coins in one day is only a few million. Except for the gold mine, Healy didn't particularly care about other resource mines, so he could easily collect it into the Lord space. Now all the basic resources of Healy are over 1,000, and the place that needs to be used is to establish a territory. Healy has a Lord space, and territory is not particularly important to him. As for those rare resources, such as crystals, 2 Dominator-level Undead Bone Dragons can each produce 10 units per day. This thing is used to recruit special arms. While clearing the resource points occupied by the Behemoth clan, they also killed nearly 1,000 King Kong at the same time. Little King Kong's rank is 7, his rank is ordinary, there are more than 20 resource points, there are nearly 1,000 in total, and the corpses are received by Healy in the 1,000 treasure ring. It was getting late, and Healy decided to rest in the tribe of Bamun Behemoth. In addition to being an Undead Bone Dragon, Healy also transformed more than 100 Behemoth corpses into skeleton arms. Behemoth, Skeleton. Faction, Cemetery. Level, LV8. Grade, Elite. Power, 220, 110*2. Speed, 80, 40*2. Physique, 160, 80*2. Spirit, 52, 26*2. Specialty, none. Skills, none. Compared with the behemoth of Tier 10 before, the behemoth that has now been transformed into a skeleton has more than doubled its attributes, and without any skills, its combat effectiveness must have declined. There are more than 100 corpses of the Tier 10 behemoth Healy, all of which are transformed into skeletons at this time. The number of units under Healy ushered in the first wave of explosion. Knight Catwoman of Tier 3, Master 10. Tier 12 Undead Bone Dragon, Master 2. Tier 10 Undead Bone Dragon, Hero 8. Tier 8 Skeleton Behemoth, Elite 114. The rest of the corpses, such as Little King Kong, Subspecies Earth Dragon, and Little Flying Dragon Beast, Healy did not transform. Because troops cannot be transferred at the teleportation altar, Healy has heard of a few treasures that can store troops, but he doesn't know the specific strategy. All over the network. The time of the Lord world is the same as that of the real world. It is already past 11 o'clock in the evening, and it is not suitable for continued exploration and dispatch of troops. Besides the large house, the camp of the behemoth is a good place to live. Healy put the bone dragon and beeman skeletons around. The skeleton creatures don't need to rest, so it's perfect for them to guard the safety of the camp. As for the cat ladies, everyone has a separate big house. Sundara's character is undoubtedly revealed. Catwomen are arrogant, but in front of Healy, all of them will turn into well-behaved kittens. For example, at this time, Meow was hugged by Healy and entered the room. To Meow, Healy was familiar. On the contrary, Meow, who has never experienced such a thing, made her whole body softened by her throbbing heartbeat, and let Healy, crazy overnight. Now in the world of Lord, the difference in attributes, physical strength, must be Healy who has lost. In the second half of the night, he can only lie down and let Meow be a female knight. At 9 o'clock in the morning, Healy was awakened by a system prompt, ding, dear player, you have been online for 24 hours, please go offline and rest in time to avoid harm to your body. This notification tone is a feature that the Lord's world is not integrated with the real world. As long as you have been online in the Lord's world for 24 hours, you will be reminded every 10 minutes, and it can't be blocked. You can log in after being offline for 4 hours. Eliminate the prompt tone. The setting of the Lord world is actually to protect the players, because the feelings in the Lord world are no different from the real world. Some people gain strength in the Lord world, can fly over the walls, and jump directly from 70 to 80 meters high. There is no problem at all, but returning to the real world, it will become an ordinary human body again. There will be a situation where some people spend too much time in the game, are abruptly offline, have not yet realized their subjective consciousness, think they are still in the game, and jump straight down from a height of 10 meters. The final result is either serious injury or death. Frequent offline will effectively avoid this situation. The Lord's world will not force the player to be kicked offline because the time is up, because in the Lord's world, some plots and the like may not be completed in 24 hours. The World of Lords officially opened the server at 9 o'clock yesterday, and it has been exactly 24 hours. In fact, in addition to Healy, many players were also prompted at the same time. In fact, when players gradually gain experience, they will go offline to sleep, so that when they are not sleeping, they can always be in the world of the Lord. Healy was awakened by the sound of the system, and Meow in his arms immediately felt her long eyelashes trembled twice, and then slowly opened her jeweled pupils like cats with a mysterious feeling. Get up, a new day begins, we are going to fight again. Healy touched Meow's little cheek and got up to put on clothes. Soon, Healy hugged Meow out of the room. Meow crossed his legs on Healy's moon, and put his arms around Healy's neck, with a small face buried in his neck. In fact, Meow's physique has long since recovered from the injury last night, but Healy wants to hold her. Facing Healy's strength, Meow is very obedient. When she walked out of the room, the other 9 Catwomen were already moving around. Seeing Healy hugging Meow out, her eyes all showed envy, and at the same time she looked at Healy with eager eyes. Being watched by these Catwomen like this, to be honest, Healy really wants to take them all into the room. What to improve his strength, what past enemies, go to him, now have wine and now drunk. However, this salted fish idea was quickly suppressed by Healy and calmed down the Catwomen a little. Healy opened the Catwoman summoning table in the Lord space and used 9 spirit coins plus gold coins to directly recruit 10 people. Catwoman. As a result, the number of Catwomen under Healy skyrocketed to 20. Collecting all the special energy gems in their hands, Healy only took Meow to the trading location agreed with the Jinkla tribe. When Healy arrived, RAF was already waiting for him. Obviously, RAF was selected by the leader of the Jinkla clan as the person to trade with Healy. 20 Catwomen, Tier 3, they can produce 60 superb energy gems a day. Healy successfully exchanged 30 superb gold runes from RAF. At the same time, he discussed with RAF. In the evening, they will come back again. He traded 2 waves. It was equal to the separation of RAF. Healy collected 30 top gold mine runes into the Lord space, and these top gold mines immediately turned into spirit mines. In addition to the 15 spirit mines that Healy originally had, the number of Healy spirit mines has increased sharply to 45. The number of Nissan spirit coins has also reached 2,250 directly, which has already broken 1,000. Adding the rest of the previous, the number of spirit coins in Healy's hand, 2,562. P.S. The author of Urhwo didn't find out how to read the reward record in the background, only saw 133 or something in the comment that gave a big reward of more than 1,000 points. Thank you, asterisk. The 3rd order Dark Knight Catwoman summoning station is upgraded to the 4th order, and it needs 1,000 spirit coins. There is no hesitation about this, Healy chooses to upgrade. After the summoning station was upgraded, Meow and the others were upgraded to Tier 4 after Healy was deducted from the corresponding gold coins. Dark Knight Catwoman, female. Faction, Orcs. Level, LV4. Grade, Dominate. Power, 320, 160 *2. Speed, 1568, 560 *2 plus 448. Physique, 160. Spirit, 144. Specialty, Energy Gem, Super 4/Day. Skills, Dexterity, Dark Knight Cat. Combat Talent, Swiftness, Dark Space, Dominant. Equipment, Dark Knight Leather Armor, Suit, Bloodthirsty Claw, Weapon. The 4th order Catwoman's attributes have broken 2,000 in 4 dimensions. If the Catwoman and the Beacon Behemoth were to be matched, it would not be the situation yesterday. The cat ladies waited for their ranks to improve, and Healy once again received 20 top grade energy gems, but he didn't rush to find RAF to exchange them. Meow, I will return to my world in a while. It won't be too long. During the time I am away, the Catwoman and skeleton units will be handed over to you, so you can check the surrounding situation, but try your best. Avoid fighting and focus on information. I will talk about everything when I come back. Be careful. Healy hugged a Meow, and then whispered. At this time, Healy has received 4 system prompts to go offline, 1 in 10 minutes, which is quite punctual. Yeah. A Meow nodded a little bit, knowing that Healy was leaving. She was a little unhappy, because she had no scheming. She was so angry that Healy could see through her careful thoughts at a glance, but she felt a Meow's little emotions. Healy loves her even more. He chose to hand over the command to a Meow for the time being, and Healy went offline. In Jishi, a special game room in a hard-covered room was placed in a luxurious game room. The game room opened, and a handsome young man covered with nutrient solution stood up. He was Healy. He picked up the towel next to him and wiped off the nutrient solution on his body. Healy was about to go to the bathroom to take a bath. His home is about 100 square meters, but there is only 1 bedroom, then a living room, 1 kitchen, and 1 bathroom, and finally a game room. This kind of layout makes his home look very big. Whether the living room, bathroom, or bedroom are all big, it is very comfortable to live alone. When he came to the bathroom, Healy looked in the mirror. His angular face, if he went to the entertainment industry to develop, he could properly become a traffic star. Even if his hair was wet with nutrient solution at this time, there was no release at all, but it still doesn't affect his appearance. He has reached the point where his appearance is not affected by his hairstyle. However, Healy doesn't care about his appearance. What he is more excited about is that green face, because he is 19 years old and a sophomore college student. Healy's family, his father Hidei, is the vice president of the Jishi Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, and his mother is a financial consultant for a top 100 company in China. In addition to his parents, Healy's grandfather was also a cashier, and his aunts were all engaged in accounting-related occupations. Therefore, Healy's current university major is computerized accounting. It's just that Healy's game talent is stronger. Some competitive games, he is very good. On Aquastar, esports is already a noble profession, and esports majors are also offered in prestigious universities. Healy is a student of finance and accounting, and often takes time off to play games. Although some are not doing business properly, the social market is like this, the society continues to develop, and the entertainment industry is getting better and better. In addition, because of Healy's family, before he went to university, he had already cleared up the basic accounting business, and he was even better than the actual accounting. He was better than the teacher. He learned those things at school, but it was of no use to Healy. In addition, Healy's father is very familiar with Healy's mentor, and the mentor knows Healy's situation, so he turns a blind eye to him. As for the family, Healy originally agreed to report to the accounting profession instead of esports. It was his father who promised that as long as he was in the accounting profession and passed the exam every time, he would not stop him from taking time off to play games. After washing, Healy came out wearing a bathrobe and went to the living room. He was stunned when he saw the mobile phone on the table. He hadn't seen this thing for many years, and he missed it very much. Then I picked it up, and when I unlocked it, I saw a lot of messages, including missed calls, text messages, and video pop-ups and messages from social software. Healy looked through it carefully, and all the missed calls and videos, as well as information and news, were basically Yafeng Hemming. Seeing this name, Healy recalled a vague figure in his mind. G University has never selected the school flower, but Yafeng Hemming is basically the most beautiful student recognized by all G University boys. Surprisingly, Yafeng Hemming is not from the accounting department or foreign language department of Beauty Ruyun, but from the esports department. She loves to play games. In her sophomore year, she became a member of the G University Esports Club. Healy was recruited to the esports club by Yafeng Hemming himself because of his good game skills, and gave the backbone of the organization, which also gave Healy an extra excuse to take time off to play games. This time the World of Lords opened the service. The entire Jida Esports Club has agreed that the birth point will be in the same city, Angel City. Before the World of Lords opened the server, some information was given on the internet, such as the names and affiliations of thousands of cities, so that the players in the group could come to the same city. Healy chose Angel City in his previous life. He also received the task of angel summoning platform there, and then embarked on a road to fill the bottomless pit. In this life, Healy still wants to take the task of that angel summoning station, because he feels that he now has this capital. It is worth mentioning that Yafeng Hemming's name is 4 characters, but she is not a double surname. His father's surname is Ya and his mother's surname is Feng. Jingle bell? As Healy recalled the past, the phone suddenly rang. It was a video call. After hesitating, Healy chose to connect. Hey, Healy, where did you die? I told you to play the game together. Why can't I contact you all the time? I thought you were dead outside, and I kept worrying about you. I was absent-minded in the game. You don't know the early stage. How important is it? Because of you, I am in the club now, and I can't even rank in the top 10 in combat power. As soon as the video was connected, a girl in a pink pajamas appeared in the video with a delicate face and half-dry hair. It should be the call to Healy when he was blowing. Are you worried about me? Healy is very good at catching the point, and his face is a little weird. What do you think? You are my number one thug, isn't it normal for me to care about you? Also, don't change the subject for me, what are you doing? Yafeng Hemming blushed, but his character slightly coquettish, she led the topic back strongly and continued to question Healy. A friend of mine received a task, I'm going to help. Healy thought about it, and lied solemnly. Then why don't you pay attention to me in the game? Yafeng Hemming accepted Healy's explanation, but she still had a small lump in her heart, so she asked. I kept fighting, so I closed the chat channel, and then I forgot. Healy explained. The chat channel is a real name system. You don't need to add friends. You can chat in the game by adding a channel in reality, which is very convenient. When Healy was reborn in the World of Lords, as soon as he entered the World of Lords, the classmates of the Jidai Esports Club kept talking and sighing in it. Healy, who was reborn, felt annoying, so he turned it off. At that time, the mood was complicated and he was anxious to develop. Healy never thought about the club from beginning to end. Okay, you've passed it. By the way, how are you developing in the game? How many units are there? Are there second-tier units? I tell you, Shen Hao got 5 units of third-tier units. Now he is in our club and speaks better than the president of me. After accepting Healy's explanation, Yafeng Hemming began to complain to Healy asterisk. Standing to the girls twittering, Healy thought a lot. He was in his previous life. At this age, his emotional intelligence was not very high. He didn't see Yafeng Hemming's affection for him at all. If it weren't for this chance of rebirth, I really don't know that this girl might have liked him. You know, in the esports club, there are not many masters better than Healy, but there are still a few, but Yafeng Hemming only cares about him so much. In Healy's mobile phone, Yafeng Hemming sent him more than 100 messages. It can be seen that Yafeng Hemming said that she didn't play the game well because she was worried about Healy. It's true, because Healy's missed messages started at around 9 o'clock yesterday morning, intermittently in the middle, and sent a total of more than 100 messages in one day and one night. As for the Shen Hao in Yafeng Hemming's mouth, Healy didn't care at all. This Shen Hao had the impression that his second-generation son was rich and his father was worth billions. First, it is also from the esports department, but the esports technology is very good. He is the way of esports commentary. In the World of Lords, Shen Hao obtained 5 units of Tier 3 arms in one day. In fact, it was very simple. He spent money to buy gold coins from his classmates. A Tier 3 arms cost 400 gold coins, and he could directly recruit them in the city. Recruitment at the venue, 5 units only cost 2,000 gold coins. According to the current gold coin market, 10 to 1, it cost about 20,000 yuan. Of course, in the early stage of the game, few people would buy gold coins for some money. Their own gold coins are not enough. Shen Hao can receive gold coins and the price must be higher than 10:1. However, for him, these are all. It's a small amount of money. You haven't slept all night? You take a rest first, and see you in the Angel City later. Healy's voice softened a little, and said with a caring tone. Well, okay, I will go to bed after blowing my hair. See you at night. Yafeng Hemming was cared by Healy. He didn't know what was thinking in his little head, and his face became more ruddy. Hanging up the video with Yafeng Hemming, Healy frowned and thought about it, and first called his parents to persuade them to enter the world of the Lord. Hideyi's father, Hideyi, is 45 this year, and his mother, Zhang Juyun, is 41 this year. Both of them are not too old, and because of the working environment, they will not be out of touch with the times. They also played games when they were young. In his previous life, Healy's parents also entered the game after serving in the Lord's World for a few months, but they were only recreational players and did not have much development. Hideyi established a territory, and later other players broke it. He gave up on the establishment of a territory and started to take Zhang Juyun and the two to use his free time to play everywhere. After persuading his parents to enter the game, Healy left home and went to buy some supplies, such as canned food, intestines, dried noodles, seaweed and other dehydrated vegetables, as well as quick frozen dumplings. Lin always bought 2 big bags. On the way back, Healy gave a wry smile. I was very happy when I bought it. I wanted to buy everything when I saw it. When he returned home, he forgot about his current physique with the 5 scum, so let's not talk about the 2 big bags, but the plastic bag was strangling his hands. When Healy entered the elevator and was about to press the 17th floor, a thin girl stepped in and walked in. The girl had a baby face and seemed to be very young. People who didn't know would think she was a minor. But Healy knew that this little girl, 2 years older than him, was 21 this year and her name was Qiao Qianjing. As for why Healy knew her name and age, this is because of her previous life. According to the memory of her previous life, about a few days later, Qiao Qianjing's mother committed suicide due to bankruptcy and the body was found a few days later, leaving Qiao Qianjing alone. The house was taken away and faced with huge debts. At that time, Healy went out shopping and met Qiao Qianjing at the top of the stairs. At that time, the girl was no different from a little beggar. At that time, Healy was soft-hearted and was a little high-spirited in the game. In reality, he also likes people to appear in front of him, so he takes in after Qiao Qianjing, let her do housework or something. After all, the time is long, the family will definitely fall into the dust, and it will cost a lot of money to ask for part-time work. Asterisk. Xiao Qianjing is a person who has seen He Li's early stage be lost because of the angel summoning platform giant pit mission, and witnessed that he found the Jinkla clan in the world of the Lord to usher in the peak, and finally accompanied him to lose everything in the game. The Lord world of the previous life merged with the real world. When He Li was captured by the opponent, he was not very aware because of the effects of alcohol paralysis. He only remembered that Xiao Qianjing stopped him in front of him with her small body, and was finally killed. When he was being carried away, he saw Xiao Qianjing's body on the ground, his white apron stained with blood. It's just that He Li, who was discouraged at the time, selectively forgot this segment and didn't want to remember it. In fact, in the next 5 years of imprisonment, every time he thinks of a Miao who sacrificed his life to protect him, and Xiao Qianjing, 2 silly girls who were driving for his man's arm, he would be irritable, crazy, and instant negative emotions. Well, at that time, there was another woman with him beside him, which eased his negative emotions. When He Li recalled, he kept staring at the girl. The girl had been looked at by He Li for a long time and was a little inexplicable, so he asked, "No, I remember something, I'm sorry." He Li smiled apologetically, did not talk to Xiao Qianjing. He understands her character, not to mention that the situation where he was distracted just now would make Xiao Qianjing's first impression of him definitely not. It would be so good. Xiao Qianjing would also refuse with a cold face just when a normal stranger started a conversation. As for Xiao Qianjing's mother, if He Li remembers correctly, his mother committed suicide by taking poison in her home's house the night before, because her hometown is relatively biased, and in the end it was because someone saw her mother go in and never came out, and it felt wrong. After checking in the past, the body was finally found. Later, there will be debt collectors who will drive Xiao Qianjing out of the house, and will even force her to pay off the debt. This time, He Li didn't have much contact with Xiao Qianjing, but after he returned home, he silently set an alarm on his mobile phone, the time he kept Xiao Qianjing in his memory. When He Li returned home again, the 4 hours of offline time had passed. After tidying up the game warehouse, He Li quickly logged into the world of lords. The place where He Li appeared was the territory of the behemoth beast, which has now been occupied by He Li. Miao and the others were not there, but where He Li was offline, 10 bone dragons and more than 100 skeletons and giant beasts stood guarding them. Obviously, Miao was afraid that after He Li went online, there would be no troops to guard and he would encounter danger. Without leaving the territory of the behemoth, He Li touched his chin and began to ponder. In his situation, although there is no need to establish a territory, Miao and the others will always exist in the world of the Lord after he goes offline, and they definitely need a place to stay. Although this camp of the behemoth can live in, it is not suitable in any way. It is too big. The behemoth is 5 meters tall, He Li is only 1.87 meters tall, and the height of the Catwoman is generally 1 meter and 7 meters. Thinking of this, He Li decided to establish a territory here in the Evelyn Mountains. When he thought of it, He Li clicked on the operation page and directly chose to establish a territory. After that, he immediately lost 10,000 gold coins on his resource page, with 10 units of wood and stone each. The resources are gone, but the entire Bamun Behemoth camp, which was selected by He Li, has begun to undergo earth-shaking changes. The towering behemoth house that was originally towering instantly turned into dust, and then it seemed to accelerate the impact of the construction site countless times, but without workers, the building materials automatically appeared and went up. It only took 2 to 3 minutes before and after, a wooden fence with more than 10 buildings in the territory was generated. Territory number 1. Affiliation, July. Grade, LV1. Ordinary buildings, Lord's Mansion, Resident House *1. Special building, none. Summoning station, none. Defense facilities, fence. Defense equipment, none. Guard forces, Tier 8 Skeleton Behemoth, Elite, *114. Territory blessing, all attributes are increased by 1%. Effective within the territory. Territory specialty, none. Territory reduction and exemption, 1% reduction in recruitment fees and commission fees. Bind to take effect on the summoning station in the territory. Required to upgrade, gold coins, 0/2W. Wood, 0/20. Stone, 0/20. Immediately afterwards, He Li's control panel added another territory information. This control panel has a sci-fi feel, that is, a holographic image light screen is formed in front of him for him to operate, and this operation panel can only be seen by the user. In the world of lords, you can often see people standing there with a few fingers blindfolded. This is also a feature. Some people will feel funny at first, but after a long time, they will get used to it. P.S. I'm bored with the same error as before, sorry. *. It is worth mentioning that July is He Li's game ID, but the ID is not particularly important in the Lord's World game, because if you don't say it, other players have no exploration skills and it's impossible to know your ID. After checking the territorial information a little bit, although He Li will not focus on territorial development, he still needs to be upgraded. Under He Li's continuous points, the level of the territory was increased by 2 consecutive levels. Territory number 1. Affiliation, July. Grade, LV3. Ordinary buildings, Lord's Mansion, Resident House *1000. Special building, none. Summoning station, none. Defense facilities, fence, 3. Defense equipment, none. Guard Forces, Tier 8 Skeleton Behemoth, Elite, *114. Territory Blessing, all attributes increased by 3%. Effective within the territory. Territory Specialty, none. Territory Exemption, 3% exemption for recruiting arms and commission fees. Bind to take effect on the summoning station in the territory. Required to upgrade, gold coins, 0/10W. Wood, 0/100. Stone, 0/100. This is also thanks to the golden treasure chest that Healy opened before, which opened up a lot of various resources, plus the resource points he received from the Lord Space, which can provide a lot of resources every day. However, in addition to upgrading the territory, the construction of private houses also requires a lot of resources. Originally, the resources in Healy's hand were enough to raise his territory to level 4, because he built 1,000 houses in batches, and the wood and stone in his hands were no more than exhausted. Master. Just when Healy was about to check the territory on the spot, a Mao rushed back with the cat ladies. Because of the relationship with Healy, when a Miao gets along with Healy, it is more natural. There will be no difference between inferiority and inferiority as before. I saw a Miao rush directly into Healy's arms and hugged Healy with both hands. At the end of the month, his small face was buried on his body, and he rubbed it against him, full of cat sex. Catwoman and Catwoman summoning station in the dark have a sense. As soon as Healy goes online, Catwoman can sense it, so there is no need for Healy to find or wait. They will come back as soon as Healy goes online. Healy knew this a long time ago. Here will be your home from now on. These skeletons will be used to guard this place. I will get other skeletons and recruit more soldiers here. Healy embraced a Miao and said briefly, the plan for the number 1 territory. Master, after you left, a Miao took the sisters to explore a small area around and found. A Miao began to tell Healy that he was offline during the period of time when the cat ladies found the information. A total of 6 ethnic tribes have been discovered, including one of the 8th rank, the Silver Moon Wolf Summoning Station, high rank. 3 of the 9th Order, Jungle Hunter Summoning Station, high level, Bearman Summoning Station, high level, and Forest Boas Summoning Station, high level. 2 of the 10th Order, the Colorful Saber-Toothed Tiger Summoning Station, Holy Order, and the Terrestrial Crocodile Dragon Beast Summoning Station, Holy Order. The number of resource points detected was more than 100, but the number of resource points held by these 6 tribes must be 200 or more, and many of them have not been detected. With 10 units of the Undead Bone Dragon, although Healy wouldn't be able to walk sideways in the Everan Mountains, Healy can still hit them like these 6 race camps. Under the lead of Catwoman such as a Miao, with an Undead Bone Dragon as the pioneer, these 6 tribes were flattened one after another, and it was impossible to even bring a little loss to Healy. After leveling 6 tribes in a row, Healy obtained 6 summoning stations, of which 2 holy tiers were absorbed by him directly into the Lord Space, and the remaining 4 8th and 9th tier summoning stations were left behind. Throw it into the 1000 treasure ring. After pushing the 6 tribes horizontally, Healy cleared their resource points. After a battle, Healy harvested a large number of corpses. It is worth mentioning that the quality of the ethnic tribes in the Evelyn Mountains are all good, all of which are of elite rank, not ordinary. Healy converted all the corpses of elite units into skeleton units, which greatly increased the number of guards in his number 1 territory. Tier 8 Skeleton Arms, Elite 300. Tier 7 Skeleton Arms, Elite 450. Tier 6 Skeleton Arms, Elite 180. There are so many skeletons guarding the number 1 territory, even if the holy rank tribes are attacking with the power of the clan, these skeletons can also create time for the cat ladies like a Miao to descaling and escape. In this way, whether Healy leaves or goes offline, he can feel more at ease. Asterisk. In addition to the skeletal arms of rank 6 and above, Healy still has a large number of corpses of ordinary arms of rank 6 and 7 in his hands, with a total of about 5,000. These corpses Healy does not intend to be transformed into the Evelyn Mountains. The general ethnic tribes here are basically tier 8 or above, tier 6 or 7 arms corpses. They can only be transformed into tier 4 and 5 skeleton arms. On the full-on mountain range, you might not even have the qualifications to be cannon fodder. Healy kept them, preparing to go to another place to shine and heat. The things on the Evelyn mountain range are almost handled. Most of the time has basically passed. Healy told Amiao and the others to continue to investigate and collect information, and he himself stepped on the teleportation altar again, this time the name of the city entered by Healy, City of Angels. The City of Angels is not a City of Angels. Its name comes from the fact that there is an angel statue in the square of the City of Angels. At first, some players thought that these angel statues were summoning stations, and used various methods to test them. Finally, after a long toss, almost all players gave up, thinking that the angel statue there was just a statue. But in fact, the player's guess is correct. These angel statues are angel summoning stations. To activate them, you need to complete a series of tasks. In the previous life, as far as Healy knew, he was the only one who received the angel. The task of the summoning station. Of course, it is possible that some players have also picked up, but they chose to make a fortune in a muffled voice. When he came to the City of Angels, he was quite familiar with the surrounding scenery. After all, he had a long time in his previous life and regarded this place as his base camp. Familiar street. Healy looked for the road and went to a slightly remote road. From a distance, Healy saw a woman standing on the side of the road. This woman's blonde hair and face were not particularly stunning, but the more comfortable she looked, and she seemed to have a sacred breath. As long as you are close to her, there will be a warm feeling. Healy had a lot of contact with her in the previous life, and even loved and hated her. At first, he thought that the special feeling around this woman was an illusion. Later, after more times, he realized that it was not an illusion, but just being close. This woman can be particularly at ease, and that is, if she is injured by her side, the speed of recovery will be accelerated. This woman's name Healy didn't know, and she didn't communicate anything with Healy except for the first task trigger. The rest is to hand over tasks very routinely every time. Any extra words will not be said to Healy. Healy felt that in her eyes, he might be just a person who met the standard, but he was not the one she was waiting for. Shaking his head a little, shaking away the memories and thoughts in his heart, Healy took out a superb energy gem from the 1000 treasure ring, played with it in his hand, as if he was studying, and then passed by the blonde woman. "Young man, can you wait a minute?" The blonde woman suddenly said, calling out Healy. "Oh, this big sister, what's the matter?" Healy raised the corner of his mouth and kept looking at this woman. In the previous life, he really didn't take a good look at this woman, because at that time his mind was focused on the task. After rebirth, his mentality changed. The first time he looked at this woman carefully, he found that she was quite predictable. "Can you show me the gems in your hand?" The blonde woman spoke again, exactly the same as the last time. "It's okay to see, but can I know your name, Miss Sister, first?" Healy's eyes were playful. If today is the summoning station, it is not a necessity for him. He has powerful talents and spirit coins. As long as it is a hero-level summoning station, even if it is a tier 1, he can also cultivate an invincible unit, the Night Catwoman. This is the best example. With this confidence, Healy said to talk to her freely. My name is Anna Gill, you can call me Anna. The blonde woman Anna didn't feel disgusted when she said her name. Healy didn't know it in his previous life, maybe it was just because he hadn't asked. "My name is Healy, this is for you, just look at it." Anna said the name without any hesitation, making Healy a little uncomfortable. He also reported his name, and then handed Anna the best energy gem. Holding the supreme energy gem, Anna closed her eyes, as if feeling something, while whispering in her mouth. Sure enough, Anna's voice became smaller, and finally he muttered. Healy couldn't hear it. "Arrive." After a short while, Anna opened her eyes again, her gaze at Healy softened. "I need your help to do something, are you willing?" "Of course I am willing. It is my honor to serve beautiful women." Healy smiled, but his brows were a little wrinkled, because he felt that Anna at this time had a different attitude towards him than Anna in the previous life. "I need you to go to this coordinate. There is an angel statue there. I need you to touch the angel statue. Then you will get a golden scroll and come back with the scroll." Anna began to send a task to Healy. "Okay." Healy nodded and accepted the task. A coordinate soon appeared on his information page. Healy didn't look at the coordinates very much, because he had been in front of the angel statue many times in his previous life, and he could find it a bit exaggerated with his eyes closed, but he was definitely familiar with it. On the way, Healy was a little puzzled. Is it my illusion? Healy had this doubt. The reason was simple. He felt that Anna's attitude towards him was completely different from that of the previous life, but in terms of the task, there was nothing to do with the previous life. Difference. Forget it, I don't want to, do the task first. Healy quickly gave up thinking and quickened his pace. 20 minutes later, Healy came to an angel statue. This angel statue had a female face, but its upper body was as flat as an airport. In the previous life, Healy knew a lot about the angel family in the Lord's world because of the angel summoning station. Ordinary angels have no gender and belong to asexual angels. And the sky in front of Healy is the message of the summoning station. It should be the soldier angel summoning station. It goes without saying that this summoning station can only recruit the lowest angels, not the angels with gender. However, even if it was only the soldier angel summoning station, its rank had reached the crown rank, and the rank was 14th. In other words, by integrating the soldier angel summoning station into Healy's Lord space, it can become a hero level, 15th level. If you look at these data alone, it is obvious that the soldier angel summoning station is definitely more profitable to integrate into the Lord space than to integrate into the Dark Knight Catwoman space. Strictly speaking, the choice of Healy's last life was not wrong. When he came to the soldier's angel summoning table, Healy was about to reach out and touch it, but when he first raised his hand, his eyes suddenly widened and his expression was dumbfounded. At this time, the few people who were also studying the soldier's angel summoning table were a little bit unable to stand it. One of the sturdy men said, "Hey, you guys can touch them whenever you want." You make a surprised look. "Look, who should I show it to? You graduated from the show? The acting is so good, why don't you become an actor?" Obviously, this brawny man misunderstood and thought Healy was sensationalizing. The world is so big that there are no surprises. In the past 2 days at this angel summoning platform, weird things popped out every 3 to 5. Some yelled excitedly that he succeeded, and some sneaked away sneakily. These in addition to grandstanding people, there is also a kind of liar. They use these methods to make others mistakenly believe that they have a way to obtain the angel summoning station. At this time, some people can't help but ask them. An invincible existence like the angel summoning station wants to ask for clues. There are some costs to pay, such as gold coins, arms, and so on. Many people were deceived of gold coin arms, and finally got a fake clue. Some of these deceived people admit that they are unlucky, and eventually leave or continue to study, and some will become new liars and deceive others. At this time, Healy, 8 achievements are regarded as such a role. P.S. The flowers need to be changed to 3, and the rewards are to be changed to 1. A total of 4 changes are required. Today is 7 changes, and tomorrow is also 7 changes. I woke up at 10 today. I thought about the settings of the 2 characters when I went to bed last night. After I got up, I worked on it. After more than an hour, I was satisfied. If you modify the attributes of a character. Thousands of 400 words, I estimate that when it comes out, someone should say that I have counted the words. Wait until that chapter, there will be more. Finally, thanks to the quiet little cat, thank you for your reward, and thank you for your support. Asterisk. Healy was naturally not a liar, nor was he sensationalizing. He was surprised because he suddenly discovered that the Soldier's Angel summoning station in front did not match the coordinates given by Anna. This Soldier's Angel summoning station Healy has not been here 100 times, but also 80 times. How could he remember it wrong? Then there is only one reason. Anna's attitude towards Healy in this life is indeed different from that in the previous life. Reducing the excitement in his heart, Healy ignored the sturdy man, turned and left, looking for the location on the coordinates. Bah, trick, I want to lie to Laozi, next life. The strong man looked at Healy's back, thinking that he had exposed Healy's face. Healy was embarrassed to slip away, he was proud of his heart, and even rushed to the side. The people raised their eyebrows, a posture of learning something, which is amazing. Then he began to study in front of the Soldier's Angel summoning platform. However, because they didn't receive the task, they couldn't see any information from the Soldier's Angel summoning station, and could only see a statue of unknown material. According to the coordinates, Healy fumbled for a while and finally found the location of a palace whose door was blocked by a light curtain. Thinking that he should be able to get in after he took the task, Healy walked directly towards the light curtain. Sure enough, because he took the task, the light curtain did not stop him. Entering the hall, it was very empty. In the huge hall, 5 angel statues were erected in the center. The angel statues in the hall are completely different from what Healy saw in Angel Square before. The angel statues in Angel Square are about 3 meters tall and have uniform armor and robes. But here is different. The headed statue is a female angel about 2 meters tall. She is covered in gold and white armor and tabard. She has her head down, and holds a huge sword inserted on the ground in both hands and her wings. She presents a posture that wraps her body, but does not merge, leaving a gap of more than 1 meter wide to allow Healy to clear everything about her. When Healy was observing her, a message similar to the introduction appeared: Judgment Angel Summoning Station, not activated. The second statue is a female angel riding on a white flying horse. The flying horse is white and flawless. The female angel also has silver armor. She holds a silver spear. Even her exposed long hair is silvery white. The only thing she has is the bright color is the tassel of the spear, which is bright red. Information: Summoning Station of the Angel of Retribution, not activated. The third statue, also female, is also about 2 meters tall, holding a sword and shield. The shield is a large shield, not an ordinary round shield. Her battle armor is golden, and the battle robe inside the battle armor is red. Message: Guardian Angel Summoning Station, not activated. The fourth statue, a female, does not wear armor, but a blue hooded robe, holding a blue staff in her hand, and even her wings are shining with blue brilliance. All around her, there is many beautiful light spots are hovering. Message: God's Punishment Angel Summoning Station, not activated. The fifth statue, also female, also has no armor. Unlike God's Punishment Angel, her hooded robe is moon white, her hands are praying, and a golden magic book with golden light surrounds her. Just like a satellite, it continuously rotates according to a certain trajectory. Message: Healing Angel Summoning Station, not activated. Looking at the statues of 5 angels, or the summoning station, Healy can easily think of such professions as mad warfare, night warfare, shield warfare, mage, and healing. These 5 summoning stations Healy can view information, all of which are of hero level, 15th rank, and are more than 1 grade better than those angel summoning stations on the square outside. Although Healy can probe the information of 5 angel summoning stations together, he can only choose one to touch. After thinking for a while, Healy chose the Guardian Angel. Healy's choice is because he has the undead transformation token. The undead and the angels must be in conflict between the arms. If they choose to heal the angels, they will use healing power on the skeletons under Healy. I believe it will definitely not have a healing effect, but rather an attack. Magic is still powerful. Asterisk. In addition to healing angels, God Punishment Angels should use elemental attacks, powerful elemental magic, powerful attacks, and large attack ranges. This is their characteristic, but they are equally easy to destroy corpses. Healy has the undead transformation token. For him, the biggest gain in a battle is the corpse. As long as the corpse is more than the skeleton type units he loses, he earns it. However, if there are a large number of God's Punishment Angels in hand, the number of corpses harvested will definitely show a terrifying downward trend. I didn't choose these 2 summoning stations, not because they were bad, but in comparison, Healy must first exclude them. If they can choose, Healy will definitely choose them all, but fools don't want them. The remaining 3 angels summoned Taeshung. For Healy, it was the same to choose anyone. He looked at the guardian angel pleasingly and liked her shirt very much, and finally chose the guardian angel. After making a decision, Healy quickly stepped forward and touched the arm of the guardian angel's summoning table without hesitation. The next moment, a burst of red golden light flashed, and Healy had a golden scroll in his hand. The outside of the scroll was carved with swords, shields and angels. At the same time, the information Healy of the Guardian Angel Summoning Station can also be viewed. Guardian Angel, Female, Summoning Platform, Holy Step. Faction, Light, Angel. Level, LV 15. Grade, Hero. Summoning Speed, 1 person/week. Summoning Needs, 400 W gold coins plus 40 units of gems/bit. Guardian Angel, Female, Attributes, 15th rank, Hero. What's more, what surprised Healy was that he could not only find the information of the Guardian Angel Summoning Station, but also the data information of the Guardian Angels that this summoning station could recruit. In the previous life, the Soldier Angel Summoning Station quest that Healy got, he could not check the Soldier Angel information he summoned before completing the mission, and he had never heard of other summoning stations, and he had not started recruiting. You can know the information of the recruited units. However, even though he has never experienced it, Healy chose to check it quickly. Guardian Angel, Female. Faction, Light, Angel. Level, LV 15. Grade, Hero. Power, 3300, 600 5.5. Speed, 1650, 300 5.5. Physique, 24,750, 755.54 plus 8250. Spirit, 1485, 270 5.5. Specialty, UN Guang Medal, 1/day. Skills, Aurora Eternal, High Angel Race Talent, Constitution Buff, Holy Rank Skill 1, Constitution Buff, Holy Rank Skill 2, Holy Shield Strike, Holy Light Slash, Holy Body, Holy Light Shield. Equipment, Angel One-Handed Long Sword, Angel One-Handed Shield, Armor, Guardian Angel Armor, Set. Aurora Perpetual, Higher Angel Race Talent. The Light is immortal, the Angel is immortal, and the Angel of War is dead. When the summoning station is bathed in the sun, the corresponding resources can be re-recruited, and the new recruitment qualification is not occupied. Remarks, no limit on quantity, no limit on number of times. Physique Buff, Holy Rank Skill 1 Physique increased by 2 times. Physique Buff, Holy Rank Skill 2 Physique increased by 2 times. Sacred Shield Strike, use a shield to strike a powerful blow, and the instant power will increase by 3 times. Holy Light Slash, use a giant sword to slash violently. The target that is slashed will take 2 times the damage, and the target nearby will be affected. The damage will depend on the distance. Divine Body, Physique increased by 50% times. Holy Light Shield, a shield is formed on the surface of the body, which bears Constitution/5 damage, duration, 5 seconds, cooling time, 3 minutes. Remarks, the sustained damage is greater than the value of the shield, or the shield disappears if the time reaches 5 seconds. Hi, checking the Guardian Angel's message, I have to say, Healy drools. The only unit in Healy's hand that can be compared with the Guardian Angel is the dominant Tier 12 Undead Bone Dragon. Strictly speaking, the Undead Bone Dragon's 4-dimensional attributes are very balanced. In addition to physical fitness, even other attributes exceed the Guardian Angel. However, the pure physique of the Guardian Angel is more than 10,000 more than the sum of the 4-dimensional attributes of the Undead Bone Dragon. The Guardian Angel's attributes are obvious. It is a defensive unit, almost a perfect and invincible shield. Especially abnormal is the talent of the High Angel race. As long as they have the resources, they are almost equal to immortality, and they are simply bug home. Asterisk. After reading the Guardian Angel's summoning table and the Guardian Angel's message, Healy was a little mad. It's like a beautiful woman in front of you, at your mercy, but you can only see that you can't touch it. This feeling let Healy explode some mentality. After forcibly taking a few deep breaths, Healy left the hall and went straight to where Anna was. At this time Anna had already returned to the room, and Healy was familiar with the door and knocked on the door to enter. Seeing Anna again, Healy didn't know whether it was the reason in his heart or something. He always felt that Anna's eyes looked at him with a triumphant smile. This is a scroll. Healy handed the Guardian Angel's scroll to Anna. Well, the way this scroll opens the first seal requires you to hunt 100,000 units of Hellcamp creatures above Tier 4. Anna opened the scroll, took a closer look, and then spoke to Healy. 100,000 Hell soldiers? Healy was a little speechless at this time. He remembered that the mission at the beginning of the previous life only required the hunting of 1,000 units of cemetery camps or hell camps. The task of the angel summoning station becomes more difficult as it goes to the back. It was so difficult at the beginning, and it is hard to imagine how abnormal the tasks at the back will be. Moreover, there is another thing that makes Healy speechless. Fortunately, the cemetery camp has almost all of the troops in the hell camp. If you don't go to the hell world, you will almost find no one in the hell camp for 10.5 months. If you want to go to the hell world, you need a special prop, random scroll, hell. What's more pitted is that the hell camp is opposite to the human camp. After Healy went to the hell world, he wanted to come back, and he needed the same props, random scroll, human. Looking at the quests on the scroll, Healy guessed that all the quests may be about the troops of the Hell Camp. Every time he completes the quest, he needs to come back to find Anna to unlock the next quest. In this way, he may need a large number of random scrolls of the two realms, and when he goes to the Hell Realm, he can't bring troops, that is to say, his undead bone dragon, a meow, and the others, can't take it at all. What? Difficulty? Anna asked with a smile. It's a bit troublesome, but it's not that difficult. If you want to get it, you have to pay first. I understand the truth. Healy's mode of getting along with Anna in this life is completely different from that in the previous life. In the previous life, he was respectful, and in this life, he is more like getting along with friends. Okay. Nodding, Anna's eyes were fixed on Healy. What's the matter? Healy asked when Anna looked a little uncomfortable. Strange, I feel the breath of the undead in you, but you are also a human camp. I would like to give you a piece of advice. If you meet the wandering troops of the Bright Camp in the wild, don't try to recruit, try to stay away, otherwise, there is a high chance that they will attack you. Anna frowned, and then began to explain. Anna's words made Healy stunned for a moment. The fact that he had a large number of skeletons under his hand was ignored by him. The Bright Camp, the Hell Camp, and the Cemetery Camp were deadly enemies. Thinking of this, Healy suddenly broke into a cold sweat, because Anna was also in the Bright Camp. Since you feel the breath of the undead in my body, why did you help me? You even gave me the task of Guardian Angel Summoning Station. The Lord World is actually another world. Healy's forehead is sweating. He is a little skeptical now. Is the mission of the Guardian Angel Summoning Station a conspiracy? In other words, it is a shame. In fact, the use of energy is not good or bad. Although light is not in line with the dark concept, there must be darkness when there is light, and there must be light when there is darkness. When the strength reaches a certain level, it will touch the origin of the world. You will find that whether it is light or darkness, it is just a process of using energy. There are dark people in the light, and light people in the darkness. Anna's eyes were serious and deep. A little bit advanced remarks, but Healy still understands it. Just like in those martial arts novels, there are hypocrites in the upright sect, and there are upright people in the evil cult. Asterisk. If this is the case, then why do you still believe in the light? Healy had another doubt in his heart when he understood Anna's words, so he asked. Faith? Strictly speaking, I am not a belief in angels, but a mission. From the day I was born, to restore the angel family to the top of all races is the goal of my life's struggle. Anna's eyes became deeper, the speech is even more incomprehensible. I don't understand. After Anna finished speaking, Healy shook his head, saying that he didn't understand. This time, even Anna, who has a slightly elegant personality, couldn't help but roll his eyes directly at Healy. Go finish your task, I look forward to your growth. In the next moment, Anna gave Healy an eviction order. Okay. On Healy's side, after confirming that Anna was not deliberately cheating him because of the undead aura on his body, he was in a good mood. Leaving Anna's residence, Healy immediately went to the portal of the City of Angels. After spending a little gold, Healy teleported directly to Iwaki City. The consumption of sending hundreds of gold coins at a time is simply a pit for ordinary players. Many players earn hundreds of gold coins a day, but for Healy, a few hundred gold coins are drizzle. About 10 minutes later, at the restaurant where I met Lee Myun last time, Lee Myun opened the door and walked over with a smile when he saw Healy, who was sitting in the old position. Lots, more than 1,000 corpses of units of rank 6 and above. Because there are 20 units of tier 9 arms purchased from Healy, plus 2 tier 9 summoning stations, Lee Myun took her elite team and slaughtered wild tribes wildly, and obtained a large number of summoning stations. S power has been greatly improved, and also harvested a lot of corpses of troops above tier 6. Don't worry about this. I'm here this time. There is a new deal. Healy came this time, not for more than 1,000 tier 6 corpses. The skeleton arms summoned by this thing are only tier 4, and the combat power may even be hit. But some powerful third order. Today's Healy, after having the task of the Guardian Angel Summoning Station, definitely looks down on the tier 4 skeleton arms. Oh, what deal? Tell me about it. Lee Myun was quite interested in Healy's deal, not to mention, from Healy's hands to the 9th tier arms, her team has been busy for nearly 1 day and 1 night. She has already recovered the cost of buying over 100 million yuan, and even made a profit. The current Healy, in front of Lee Myun, is a golden god of wealth. I need random scrolls, for the hell world and the human world, 1 hell plus 1 human, I will give you an elite 9th tier summoning station. Healy said his trading intentions. Healy used an elite 9th tier summoning station to exchange for 2 random scrolls. It seemed a bit silly, but it was not. In the world of lords, random scrolls are not easy to obtain, and it depends more on luck. And the role of random scrolls is also very powerful. Although you can't carry troops with random scrolls, you can carry a summoning station. Use random scrolls to randomly teleport to a teleportation altar, and when you figure out the surrounding situation, you can go back and carry the summoning table and teleport it over. Without a territory, using the summoning station only needs to pay 10% more recruitment costs. If the random scroll is used well, it is equivalent to an additional development base. With good luck, it can rise directly. For example, Healy in the previous life, his rise is because he used random scrolls to meet the Jinkla tribe. You do wholesale, right? Tier 9 summoning station gives you the same cabbage. Healy's words made Li Myun a little suspicious of life, so she murmured. The first two are good luck, I got them later, thank you too. Healy smiled and turned on the flicker mode. Thank me. Li Myun was curious. The undead bone dragons recruited from the giant dragon bones are good for use. Healy didn't say much, just said a little. On Li Myun's mouth. She was obviously going to explode, but she forcibly took it back, and took a deep breath. No, I lost the deal, you have to compensate me. Asterisk. Healy told Li Myun about the undead bone dragon. It's not that his brain is not good. With Li Myun's intelligence, she just didn't expect it now. Later, she wondered how Healy got so many Tier 9 summoning stations, plus Healy's friends can convert bones and corpses into information about the skeletal unit. It is not difficult for her to analyze the undead bone dragon. At that time, Li Myun analyzed it by himself, and Healy said it first, the effect was completely different. For example, at this time, Li Myun and Healy have a coquettish tone for the benefit, which means that she has accepted the reality. And if Li Myun wants to understand it herself, she may think more and more angry then, thinking that she has been fooled by Healy. I'm not here to trade with you. There are 2 sets of scrolls for the Hell World and the Human World, for an elite 9th tier summoning station, and the other random scrolls, 5 for an elite 9th tier summoning station. How about? Is it all right? Healy promised. The current elite 9th tier summoning station is a pity for Healy to give the Lord time to absorb it. The cost performance is not as good as that of the Holy tier. Originally, Healy kept these elite 9th tier summoning stations, and had the idea to exchange what he needed with others. Now he needs 2 kinds of random scrolls to go to the Hell World, and it is just right to find Li Myun to exchange it. Okay, I found out. I'm going to suffer a trade with you. You must be a profiteer. Li Myun agreed to the transaction, but she didn't forget to spit out Healy. After spitting out, Li Myun remembered something and said again, that's right, you have to replace those corpses of my arms. We have to wait for the corpse of the class. My friend is not here, so he can only come to me. I can't get through with him, and you know that the class can't use portals or the like. Lie this thing and said. One needs to use countless rounds, and be careful not to show the horse's feet. Huh. Li Myun rolled her eyes at Healy, as if I didn't want to take care of you. Healy didn't care either. After discussing the following matters with Li Myun, he left the restaurant, went to the portal again, and chose to return to the City of Angels. After returning to the City of Angels, Healy opened a chat channel belonging to the Jaidai Esports Club. Healy, where did you die? Didn't you just ask me to go online? You let me be a girl to wait for you for a long time. Healy just opened the chat channel, and Yafeng Hemming's private chat was connected. And then yelled at Healy, but her voice was nice, even if she was angry, she felt like she was violent. Isn't this busy all the time? I was arrested when I went online, and now I am free. Healy smiled bitterly, and continued to lie to his great cause. Where are you? Yafeng Hemming directly asked him where he was. Near the portal. Healy glanced at the portal behind him, then said, 10 minutes, you are not allowed to move the place, otherwise, you will be at your own risk. Yafeng Hemming said arrogantly. Even if only voice communication is available, Healy can still make up for it. This girl must be a silver tooth at this moment, and her small hand clenched her fist and said these words fiercely. After rebirth, Healy discovered a lot of things he didn't know before, such as Anna actually got along well, but Yafeng Hemming actually liked him. Yafeng Hemming's past life hides Healy's emotions very well, and Healy has never noticed it. In this life, it may be that Healy did not choose to be born in the City of Angels at the beginning, and even blocked the chat channel of the Jaidai Esports Agency. Yafeng Hemming couldn't find him for more than 20 hours. He was a little crazy, and his mood happened. Change, a bit lost and regained, means to cherish especially. This change in mentality also made Yafeng Hemming give up hiding his feelings, showing a strong side that he did not have in his previous life. About 6 or 7 minutes, Yafeng Hemming's figure appeared. The appearance in the world of the Lord is somewhat similar to reality, but there are many changes. Some of them are like turning people into CG. People with unique facial shapes are easy to recognize. They have no characteristics. After CG, they may change. Some are big. Healy recognized Yafeng Hemming's appearance in the game because he had seen her in his previous life, and Healy himself, because he was wearing a mask, came and went around here, and Yafeng Hemming had a hard time finding him. Hey, what about this? Healy took the initiative to greet Yafeng Hemming. At this time, Healy has already changed his equipment. He opened the golden treasure chest before. Nothing else. There are a lot of garbage equipment. The additional attributes of his body are similar to the previous flame suit. The weapon has also changed from sword to sword. Knife shield. In this life, Healy has to be more cautious. He has prepared several outfits, and when he meets different people, he changes into different outfits. At this time, his outfit is very different from Li Myun before, from masks, armors to weapons. Even the accessories were changed again. Healy. Yafeng Hemming approached and asked tentatively. It's me, how about it, isn't this handsome? Healy said with a smile. How do you recognize me? I feel that this appearance is a bit different from reality. Yafeng Hemming and Healy are not chatting on the same channel. She is even more curious how Healy recognizes her at a glance. Of course it is to engrave you in my heart. I can recognize you what you have become. Healy joked casually. Go, Healy, do you want to die? Do you need me to perfect you? Yafeng Hemming was a little bit shy when he was teased by Healy. He was less than 20 years old, his face was too tender, and he obviously liked it. But when it came to the point, he was instinctively shy. Isn't it so cruel? Healy looked like I was afraid, but his expression was blocked by the mask, and Yafeng Hemming could only think of it through his tone of voice. He gave Healy a roll of eyes. Yafeng Hemming's face suddenly condensed, and he frowned and asked, "Where is your unit?" "Dead clean." Healy spread his hands. Yafeng Hemming was speechless. At this time, Healy opened his mouth again, "But my combat power is much better than before. Looking at my equipment, this is the result of my hard work." After Healy finished speaking, he knocked with a knife. He knocked on the shield in his hand and made a banging sound. In fact, from the very beginning, Healy asked Yafeng Hemming to look at his equipment, and he was guiding these words. He said this to explain to Yafeng Hemming what he had been doing before. Now, Healy's guidance is basically said. He doesn't even need to explain. Yafeng Hemming will think that Healy has been busy getting this set of equipment from the beginning of the game to the present. Healy's habit of not telling the truth is actually related to the 5 years he was imprisoned. During those 5 years, his personality changed a lot, such as lying. Now, he just opened his mouth to lie. Sometimes he didn't realize it himself. This may be a habit he had cultivated during his 5 years of dark time. Now it is very difficult for him to want to change it. In fact, the fundamental purpose of Healy's lying is to protect himself. In those 5 years, the hurt in his heart is estimated to be difficult to erase in this life. "It's really good, you are the most complete outfit I have ever worn." Yafeng Hemming carefully looked at Healy's equipment and couldn't help but admire it. "Haha, wait a while, I will lend you the equipment. You can use it for trial missions. I can't guarantee anything else. I will help you through the second-tier trial." Healy smiled and said, facing this like him. Girl, Healy wants to help her more. Yafeng Hemming was also very moved, but soon she remembered something. Her face was bitter, and she said to Healy, "Not now, we will have an event in our club in a moment, and we are going to do something on a Tier 2 military camp. P.S. Today, the 7th update is over, and tomorrow is the 7th update." Everyone voted a lot of flowers, monthly tickets, and comments in the comment area, and the number will be increased when the number is reached. These are free of charge. Thank you. Asterisk. Was also a coincidence. Just after Yafeng Hemming finished speaking, someone from the chat channel of the Jidai Esports News posted an owner of it, and then Shen Hao's voice sounded, "Everyone will gather at the East 2nd City Gate, within an hour. Those who don't come together will be kicked out of the club." Shen Hao's voice is very arrogant, and what makes him so inflated is naturally the 5 units of Tier 3 arms in his hand. Now Yafeng Hemming has been somewhat emptied by him. In the society, there are about a dozen members, and he is the only one to look forward to. As for the remaining members of the community, everyone is playing games. No one listens to anyone. Everyone plays their own games. These people are mixed with whoever is strong. Yafeng Hemming is a top-notch beauty, but the World of Lords is a rich game. It is easy to make money in the game, especially in the early stage. Beautiful women like it, but everyone knows that there is only one beauty, and you can catch it. It's definitely not himself. It's like a boy who asks him to give a beauty he likes thousands of dollars. All he can get is a word of thanks from this beauty. Maybe there is not even a word of thanks. How many will do it? In 100 people, I guess it would be nice to have one. There are a small number of girls in the club, but when it comes to fighting for power, the average girl prefers the parents. Let's go together. Yafeng Hemming obviously also received Shen Hao's voice. She looked at Healy and asked inquisitively. Okay. Healy nodded and agreed. At this time, Healy has nothing to do. On the side of the Evelyn Mountains, Amao and the others are searching for ethnic and tribal information. The task of the Guardian Angel Summoning Station, the random scroll has not been in place, and it can't be done. The improvement of its own strength has also fallen into a bottleneck. Healy and Yafeng Hemming walked side by side, and it took half an hour before they arrived at the meeting place. There are not only people from the Kyrgyzstan University Esports Club at the East 2nd Gate, but also many people gather here. If you look for it a little bit, it will be too difficult. Fortunately, Chen Hao posted specific coordinates in the chat channel, Healy and Yafeng Hemming, and soon found the meeting point. At this time, at the joint point, more than 80% of the members of the Jilin University Esports Club have come. A black group of people gathered together to chat. Next to them, they followed their respective arms, a team of less than 100 people. Because of the type of arms, it became a team of 600 to 700 people. In the game, although Yafeng Hemming's control over the esports community is almost lost, the fact that she is a big beauty has not changed. Healy and Yafeng Hemming became the focus of the audience as soon as they arrived. Watching her and Healy. "He Ming, who is this?" Shen Hao was the first person to come over. He pointed at Healy and asked. Healy turned around without even looking at Shen Hao. When Shen Hao saw Healy's behavior, his head was angry, but there were many classmates around him. In order to maintain the so-called gentleman manner, he did not explode foul language, but looked at Yafeng Hemming. The meaning is self-evident, let her explain and introduce it. Of course, there is another reason why Shen Hao didn't do it, which is that Healy's equipment is very complete. You know, the current equipment is a luxury item for players. A piece of equipment with a little attribute can cost hundreds of gold coins to buy in a shop in the city. In the wild, only humanoid units can produce equipment, but the monsters and field units they can fight are very low level, and some are even shabby than them. What good equipment can they produce? In Shen Hao's eyes, Healy's equipment was a high-end item. He was a little worried about someone who could get such a complete set of equipment. Yafeng Hemming didn't really want to talk to Shen Hao, but because of her identity, she still explained, he is Healy, the backbone member of our society, you all know him. Healy, you brat enough to put on a mask, why? You have no face to meet people. Knowing Healy's identity, Shen Hao burst into momentum, whispering in his mouth. Asterisk. That's right, Healy, why don't you even bring a single pawn? Wouldn't it be gold coins to buy all the equipment? You are a little bit mentally disabled. If our player dies once, all the equipment will be lost. If you die, in the wild, your equipment, tusk. Knowing Healy's identity, several of Shen Hao's doglegs rushed to him, and began to cheer Shen Hao and started taunting Healy. One of them is usually in reality. He has a very good relationship with Shen Hao. The guy who often takes Shen Hao to the top, is the first to speak, laughing at Healy with an idiot look on his face. You can stay away from us when you go out. Your equipment is just a pile of walking gold coins, and there is no military protection. Once someone has a bad intention and kills you and explodes the equipment, don't hurt me. At this time, again one of Shen Hao's doglegs spoke. This man had a very lively brain and murdered his heart. After some remarks, the people who were still around Healy and wanted to ask about Healy's equipment were immediately scattered. Okay, why should I go? Isn't it necessary to open up Wasteland? Can't open it. At this time, Yafeng Hemming came out to defend Healy. Although she is not as powerful as Shen Hao now, she still stands up to it. The title of the club president. As soon as Yafeng Hemming spoke, everyone broke up, but many people's topics were still about Healy. Someone who admires Healy's outfit, should you say, Healy has all outfits and accessories. There are also people who ridicule that Healy is stupid. Just get equipment, not arms. The world of lords is a world of arms. If you improve your strength, can you pick 1,000? One pick 10,000? There was also a small group of people who started to figure out whether it was possible to secretly kill Healy to snatch his equipment. Healy's equipment, even if it is equipped with a little attribute, can sell at least 2,000 to 3,000 gold coins in total. If you recruit tier 1 units, it can be 20 or 30 units. After waiting for a while, everyone in the esports club is almost there. More than 100 people, headed by Shen Hao, are marching toward a wasteland. Looking at Shen Hao, who is taking the lead, Healy's mouth rises. He who has memories of his past lives, but knows the final price of this wasteland reclamation. In the previous life, Shen Hao was not so arrogant, because Healy belonged to the European Emperor and had a summoning station from the beginning, and he did not cover it up in his previous life. He directly talked to the classmates in the club, but didn't talk about the grade. Because at the very beginning, there was an extra helper, a Miao who was the hero of Tier 1, and Healy of the previous life. During this period, there were more than 10 units in his hand, the lowest were Tier 2 and there were also 2 Tier 3 units. Under the leadership of Shen Hao, a group of people walked for nearly half an hour to their destination, a camp of ethnic tribes. The race in this camp is Goblin, a second-tier unit. Little Goblin, male. Faction, none. Level, LV2. Grade, normal. Strength, 10. Speed, 8. Physique, 8. Spirit, 6. Specialty, none. Skill, call friends and call friends. Equipment, bark and rattan armor, suit, inferior iron rod, weapon. Call friends and call friends. The little goblins under attack will shout loudly and ask for help from other little goblins nearby. The attributes of the little goblins, strictly speaking, are more rubbish than the pikemen of the human camp. However, because the little goblin is a non-aligned unit, the cost of recruiting is 50% of that of an ordinary unit with a camp, and the number of recruits each time is a bit more than that of a unit with a camp. This is a race camp for little goblins. According to my information, there are probably more than 100 ordinary first-tier little goblins. We have more than 100 people and more than 700 units. There are also Tier 2 and Tier 3, and there is no problem in taking this camp. This time I'm coming to the main attack. As for the benefits, I only need the little goblin's summoning stand, and the other benefits are yours. How about? Shen Hao pointed Zhang Han's posture and began to arrange a simple battle plan. As for the information about the little goblin camp that Shen Hao just mentioned, it was obviously wrong. He bought the information of the little goblin camp from other players. He was fooled by the other party. The person had never tried this little goblin camp. He felt that the little goblins in this camp were all the first order. The number is more than 100, and then they are fabricated and sold directly to Shen Hao. The information that Shen Hao bought was basically fake except for the coordinates of the camp. Asterisk. In the previous life, Shen Hao attacked this little goblin camp, but suffered heavy losses. In this life, Healy obviously didn't want to remind Shen Hao. He just stood far away, with the shield on the ground, his arm on the shield, watching the excitement. After Shen Hao's plan was formulated, a dozen or so individuals who were in the lead responded immediately. As for the others, there are those who show enthusiasm and think it is an opportunity to make a fortune, and there are those who frown and think a little bit more contemplatively. Because the little goblins are considered humanoid units, there will be a chance of gold coins appearing on the humanoid units. The higher the level, the higher the chance of gold coins and the greater the number of gold coins. However, because the little goblins belong to the non-aligned unit, many don't have gold coins on them, and some have only 1 or 2 gold coins on them. In other words, this race camp of the little goblins, besides the value of the summoning station, is simply huge. Pit. Shenhao, do you want to test it first? What if the intelligence is not allowed? Yafeng Hemming was a little worried, and she couldn't help suggesting when Shenhao organized the formation. What to test? Didn't I tell you all? I got detailed information here. Now the formation is almost the same. It is a waste of everyone's time to test. Shenhao did not accept Yafeng Hemming's proposal. In the world of lords, if there is no such skills as the reconnaissance skills that Healy said, one can only judge the class and rank of the arms based on experience. And because the world of lords has just opened, the data of all races is basically zero. Whether it was the person who sold the materials to Shenhao or Shenhao, they all instinctively believed that the goblins were the most trash monster, and it should be a tier 1. There is nothing wrong with them thinking this way. After all, in many games, goblins and slimes are the first garbage monsters. Shenhao rejected Yafeng Hemming's proposal. Another reason was that he was afraid of trouble. At this time, the formation was all set up. If the trial was organized, the formation would have to be rearranged. This wasted time one after the other. It may take an hour or even longer. Shenhao and Healy are about the same age, he is only 20 years old, and he is still a boy. Kill. After a while, the formation was basically lined up, headed by Shenhao's 5 tier 3 arms, and the entire Jidai Esports Club led their arms directly towards the little goblin camp. Because seeing Healy was not pleasing to the eye, Shenhao deliberately ranked Healy to the end of the team, according to what he wanted, and ranked here. After a while, there were more than 100 of them, plus more than 700 units, and they swarmed and snatched. There are more than 100 little goblins, Healy has no troops, and at the end of the team, it must be Mao's gain. Shenhao thought well, but reality. Shenhao's 5 units of tier 3 arms rushed to the door of the little goblin camp. At this time, the little goblins who had been alert for a long time also organized a resistance, and the door was blocked by a large number of little goblins holding iron rods. I saw a tier 3 spearman under Shenhao, piercing the throat of a little goblin with a single shot, and directly hit and killed one by one. At the same time, the other 4 tier 3 soldiers under Shenhao also made a good start, showing the power of tier 3 arms. Bang! However, waiting for Shenhao to be happy, a large number of little goblins rushed towards his tier 3 soldiers. Among them, the tier 3 soldier who charged the fastest was instantly surrounded by 4 or 5 little goblins. He dodged the stab left and right, only forcibly killed 2 little goblins, and finally was smashed on the head by a little goblin with an iron rod. Bang bang bang. The key was attacked, although this tier 3 spearman did not die immediately, but his action was slow. At this time, several other little goblins swung the iron rod in their hands and smashed his chaotic rod to death. Quick, quick, cover my tier 3 soldiers. Seeing that one of his tier 3 pikemen was killed, Shenhao's heart was bleeding, and he roared and asked others to help with it. Asterisk. 10 of Shenhao's younger brothers all began to command the arms in his hand to help. However, these 10 little brothers of Shenhao basically sold gold coins to him. Naturally, these little brothers have fewer gold coins in their hands. Not to mention the number of troops in their hands, they are still very weak. There are no more than 30 arms, and they are all tier 1s. The first order arms, facing the second order goblins, appeared in the scene where the third order pikeman killed the second order little goblins before, and these first order arms were killed in pieces. There are only about 30 tier 1 units, it is impossible to form a group fight against the little goblins. As a result, the 30 or so tier 1 units all die, and the death caused to the little goblins is also more than 10 units. Most of the little goblins that were killed by the remaining 4 tier 3 arms under Shenhao. At this time, human selfishness, coupled with the weakness of not having an effective and powerful command, is infinitely magnified. First of all, a few scared girls and selfish boys turned around and ran away. When they ran away, the units belonging to them naturally followed. For a time, dozens of units in the entire team were fleeing, and once this kind of cold weapon was defeated, it would be out of control. Although many people know that this is a game, the feelings of the Lord world are too real, and it is easy for people to overlook that this is a game. A group of students who have not experienced the baptism of blood and fire, a small-scale defeat, quickly triggered a large-scale defeat. There are also smart people who know that running will die faster at this time and want to take the lead in organizing a counterattack. However, at this time, there can still be enthusiasm, and there can be a few countercharge students, and counting the number of their respective arms, it is only 50. Moreover, in this wave of countercharge, the highest unit is only tier 2, and it is impossible to achieve the effect of Shenhao's tier 3 arms. A wave of countercharge resulted in the defeat of more than a dozen students and their troops. But the team of the little goblins, the speed was not blocked much, and continued to kill the students who fled. As for Shenhao and his 10 or so little brothers, they have all died in battle. At this time, they are in a state of soul, floating on the battlefield, and their world becomes black and white, but it does not affect the spectator. Healy, let's run. Because Healy was at the end, Yafeng Hemming was by the side. When charging, Healy also deliberately slowed down. Yafeng Hemming didn't know Healy's thoughts, I thought Healy knew that he couldn't get the benefits, so he gave up a little bit. Finally, there was a scene like this. The students who had returned from defeat were still 40 to 50 meters away from Healy. Yafeng Hemming felt that she and Healy should be able to escape successfully from this position, so he pulled Healy. About to run. What are you running? Retreat. Healy easily broke free of Yafeng Hemming's pulling, and instead of retreating, he rushed towards the little goblin. At this moment, the little goblin also launched an attack on the student team with less than 100 remaining students. The total number of little goblins was about 105. After 2 rounds of battles, more than 30 died, and about 102 remained. 120 little goblins, surrounded by more than 600 units of students and arms, were a bit stretched. When Healy rushed over, they caught the attention of 2 little goblins. They were holding iron rods and screaming and rushing towards Healy. Clang! The first little goblin encountered Healy. Healy easily raised his shield to prevent the little goblin from hitting his head with an iron rod. Healy took a backhand with a backhand. Puff! The little goblin moved his head, and his neck was gone, and the green blood splattered Laogao. One-handed defensive counterattack, playing pretty beautifully. The second little goblin rushed over at this moment, but Healy was faster than it. Just as he raised his hand, the shield in Healy's hand smashed directly on its head. Suddenly, the head of the second little goblin burst like a smashed watermelon. Asterisk. When Healy slaughtered the little goblins were also slaughtering the students of the G University Esports Club. Most of these students fight on their own, and some students who only have first-tier arms in their hands, even 1 or 2 little goblins can knock him over. The goblins killed and injured the students and their troops in large quantities, but the little goblins also suffered heavy casualties because of the counterattack of these students with their troops. In a short while, the students added troops and more than half of the casualties, while the little goblin also killed 30 or 40, and many of the others were wounded. Healy, who entered the game formally, was quite violent. Healy, who was in the 3rd rank of the elite, had a strength of 30 and a speed of 32. In comparison, the little goblin has 10 strength, 8 speed, and only 32 total attributes. In other words, Healy's power and speed, taken out separately, can be similar to the overall attributes of the little goblin. In the battlefield, Healy quickly turned into a killer, with a lot of green blood from a little goblin on his body. On the student side, because of Healy's invincible performance, there are also students who are still alive. In addition to luck, many of them are capable. These people gather around Healy. Healy does not have to worry about the flanks and the back. A mind attack, the speed of killing is even better. 10 minutes later, the battle was over, and the last little goblin died in Healy's hands. After that, Healy quickly moved towards the little goblin's camp, and finally in the middle of the camp, he found a little goblin summoning stand with a height of about 1.5 meters, and then collected it. Little Goblin Summoning Station, Elementary. Faction, None. Level, LV2. Grade, Normal. Summoning speed, 20 PCS/1 day. Required for summoning, 100 gold coins/piece. Little Goblin Attributes, Tier 2, Normal. The attributes of the little goblin are rubbish, but its summoning station is not bad. For ordinary players, it is simply the best cannon fodder. First of all, the recruiting price of little goblins is cheap. The normal recruiting price for Tier 2 units is 200 gold coins, while the little goblins only have 100 gold coins. The second is the number of recruits. This kind of ordinary Tier 2 summoning station usually has a recruiting amount of 5 to 10 goblins are recruited per day, and the number of recruits for little goblins is 20 per day. Commission equals recruitment/10/month. The low recruitment cost means that the monthly maintenance cost is also low. As far as combat effectiveness is concerned, the combat effectiveness of the little goblin is similar to that of the spearmen, sword, and shield soldiers of the same rank recruited from the city. After the battle, the living classmates were basically convinced of Healy seeing that he took the summoning station away. No one said anything, just let him explode the attributes of the summoning station and let everyone pay their respects. Healy didn't refuse the request of his classmates. He didn't even care about the 9th level elite summoning station, let alone the 2nd level one. He posted the data of the little goblin summoning station to the chat channel, and immediately attracted a burst of envy. However, in addition to the envy, another annoying voice sounded. Shenhao, Healy, this summoning station is mine. What do you mean by just taking it away? Shenhao, you are dead. This camp was shot down by Healy. Yafeng Hemming hung his heart on Healy, and for the heroic performance of releasing Healy, if it weren't for the reservedness of her heart, she would like to give it away. Hug, and at this time Shenhao actually asked for the summoning station. Yafeng Hemming suddenly became angry, and before Healy could speak, she took the lead in anger. Then why don't you say, Healy is picking up the bargain? If I didn't attract firepower in front and died in battle, how could he have a chance to get the summoning station? Shenhao opened his eyes and said nonsense in annoyed Kashgar. Haha, Shenhao, are you afraid of being laughed at when you say this? Yafeng Hemming sneered and mocked. What joke am I afraid of? It should be mine, and it should be mine. Is it reasonable for you to take care of you? Shenhao is obviously not the kind of person who can persuade him. It is quite difficult. When Yafeng Hemming continued to say something, Healy grabbed her. Girls, especially beautiful girls, look good when they are quiet. Seeing Yafeng Hemming's self-defense, Healy couldn't help touching her cheek with his hand. This problem is 80% accustomed to a meow. Yeah. Being so close by Healy, Yafeng Hemming lowered his head, his cheeks were blushing, and he decisively didn't talk to Shenhao. Asterisk. In this world, there is a kind of person. If you ignore him, he thought you would be more arrogant if you were afraid of him. Shen Hao is like this, huh, don't say anything? But I'm afraid, right? Yafeng Hemming, and Healy, you two come out to talk, don't pretend to be dumb. Yafeng Hemming, who was originally shy, couldn't hold back after hearing Shen Hao's words. He was annoyed and wanted to continue speaking, but he was caught by Healy again. Not letting Yafeng Hemming speak does not mean that Healy will continue to be silent. I will bully you. If you can, you will retaliate against me. If you are a man, don't talk about it. If you are not convinced, time, place, you pick me bong. Also, if you keep beeping, you will build a territory in the future, and I will stop by again. Would you like to try? After Healy spoke, the chat channel fell silent. Shen Hao, who had been unconvinced, stopped talking. Shen Hao didn't dare to speak. It was because when he was in the state of his soul just now, he saw Healy as if he was cutting melons and vegetables. He is not a fool. The combat power displayed by Healy is much stronger than ordinary tier 3 units. Shen Hao can estimate that Healy's strength is at least ordinary tier 5 or higher, and may even be ordinary tier 6 or elite tier 3. In addition, Healy got the second order little goblin summoning table today. As he thought, if Healy develops around this little goblin summoning table, he will surely grow his strength as quickly as a snowball. If Healy with such a strength really stares at him in the early stage, he won't want to grow up in the world of the Lord in the future. You know, Lord's World cannot delete accounts or create trumpet accounts. If an account is invalid, it is really invalid. For example, when Healy was caught by the opponent in the game in the last life, he can only choose to go offline and avoid. It's still you great. Seeing that Shen Hao didn't dare to speak anymore, Yafeng Hemming next to Healy gave him a thumbs up, and at the same time, he smiled happily. At this time, Yafeng Hemming looked at Healy's eyes, full of friendship. Even if Healy wears a mask, in her eyes, Healy is so handsome. In addition to the beauty in the eyes of the lover, the other is the appearance of Healy in reality, which is really liked by girls. This is for you. Healy smiled at Yafeng Hemming, but he forgot that he was wearing a mask. While talking, he handed Yafeng Hemming the little goblin summoning table he had just succeeded. I can't ask for it. This thing is too precious, and you can show your strength even more. Seeing the little goblin summoning stand that Healy handed over, Yafeng Hemming's cheeks were even redder, and his ears could even drip blood. After the throbbing, Yafeng Hemming shook his head quickly, and refused to pick up the little goblin summoning stand. Look at my strength. Killing it is the same as killing a chicken. It doesn't help me much, and you should be able to see that I will tend to develop personal strength in the future. The summoning station is of little use to me. Healy blinked and explained half-truth. But even if you don't develop your territory, having a summoning station on your body is very useful. Yafeng Hemming was a little moved after hearing Healy's words, but she quickly found a reason. In the world of lords, you will not lose attributes or ranks when you die, but except for specially bound equipment and treasures, other equipment, summoning stations, etc. will all drop. I go out and rush every day, and I may die anytime. It's outside, and the summoning station will fall out when the time comes. It's better to give it to you. You can develop it well. In case I have trouble in the future, I still count on you to protect me. Healy smiled nonsense. Well, I will protect you from now on. After Healy's portrayal, Yafeng Hemming seemed to see her protecting Healy. His small face couldn't stop smiling, and finally he took over the little goblin summoning station. You work hard, and it's better to change to another city, so you don't mess with your schoolmates. Today is an example. Many of the classmates who have worked so hard on their own have been buried with Shen Hao. Healy began to persuade Yafeng Hemming. Yeah. To Healy's words, Yafeng Hemming nodded repeatedly, indicating that he knew. Okay, my friend needs help. I'll go there first. Let's add game friends. I completely quit this channel. Also, I also quit the Jidai Esports Club. When he returned to the City of Angels, Healy gave an excuse to say goodbye to Yafeng Hemming, but before leaving, he and Yafeng Hemming added game friends to each other. Yafeng Hemming's game ID, Grape can speak. Looking at the ID, Healy shook his head. It may be the reason why he likes this girl in his heart. Looking at her ID, she feels cute and cute. Asterisk. When Healy appeared near the portal of the City of Angels, he suddenly slapped his head. He had forgotten that he had promised to lend the equipment to Yafeng Hemming. However, it's getting late, and Healy has to return to the Evelyn Mountains to continue harvesting the tribes found by the Catwomen, as well as trading with RAF. Shaking his head, Healy decisively chose to improve his strength and help girls. Stepping into the portal, choosing a location, the next moment Healy returns to the teleportation altar in the Evelyn Mountains. The location of the teleportation altar is not very far from the first territory. Before Healy left, he sent an undead bone dragon to dominate the 12th level, with hundreds of units of skeleton arms guarding here to protect him when he returned. Others teleported over, and these skeletons will kill them as soon as possible. The Evelyn Mountains Healy has been regarded as his own forbidden Lewin, and he does not allow anyone to intervene. In addition to the undead bone dragon and skeleton arms, there is also a Catwoman here. This Catwoman was sent by a Mayao. The purpose is to have a Catwoman to contact a Mayao and the others after Healy returns. Healy's return from the City of Angels is different from logging in after logging off the line before. Ami and the others can sense it, but Healy goes to the City of Angels and then comes back. They have been in the world of the Lord, and they can only sense the Dark Knight. whether the Catwoman summoning station exists in the world of the Lord and cannot sense the specific distance. You go call Meow and the others back, let them go back to the number 1 territory and wait for me, or go to RAF's side to find me, either. Healy called to the little cat girl who was left behind and gave a careful order. Yes, master. Catwoman received Healy's order, her figure flashed and disappeared into Healy's sight. On the other hand, Healy, with only the undead bone dragon, rushed towards the place where he was trading with RAF. Because the place where he traded with RAF was not far away from the number 1 realm, Healy went straight again, and it took no more than 10 minutes before and after he saw RAF again. It was the first time RAF saw the undead bone dragon. His face showed a defensive look. If he hadn't seen Healy, he might just choose to leave. Don't worry, these are my men. Away from a distance, Healy saw RAF's vigilant look. Healy quickly explained. Are you actually dealing with these bone shelves? Are you in the cemetery camp? RAF was a little curious. I am in the human camp. As for it, I got it from other sources. Healy explained a little bit. Well, your luck is really good, I feel the threat from it. RAF directly admitted the strength of the undead bone dragon. Let's start trading. I have 20 gems here, I will exchange 10 top gold runes, and, wait for me for a while, I will have 20 gems for a while. Healy doesn't want to be in the undead bone dragon, there is too much talk about it, so I just talked about the transaction directly. Okay. RAF was not too curious. Healy turned his words apart. He didn't continue to ask, but started trading with Healy. After a deal, the 20 superb energy gems in Healy's hand turned into 10 superb gold runes. After asking RAF to wait for a while, Healy rushed back towards the number 1 territory. On the way, Healy met a Meow and her 19 cat ladies. Holding a Meow habitually, Healy didn't continue to rush to territory 1. Instead, he stayed in place, took out 10 top-grade gold mine runes, and included them in the Lord's space. After the blessing of the Lord's space, the top-grade gold mine rune landed in it and turned into a spirit mine. The output of 1 spirit mine is 50 spirit coins, and 10 is 500. Healy originally had 1,562 spirit coins in his hand, and adding these 500, the spirit coins in his hand directly broke 2,000. P.S. Today, the 7th more is completed. The rules are revised, and the rest remain the same. The monthly pass is 20 plus 1 change, but the daily 5 changes, plus 2 chapters are capped. In addition, the number of words in a single chapter is small before it is put on the shelves, and a chapter of 2,000 words is fixed after it is put on the shelves. Asterisk. The 4th Order Dark Knight Catwoman summoning station is upgraded to the 5th Order, and the number of spirit coins required is 2,000. Without any hesitation, Healy rose to the Night Catwoman summoning platform in seconds, raising her level to level 5. A Meow and the others, after Healy paid the corresponding gold coins, their strength began to improve. But for a moment, a Meow and the others were upgraded to Tier 5. Dark Knight Catwoman, female Meow. Faction, Orcs. Level, LV5. Grade, Dominate. Power, 400, 200 *2. Speed, 1960, 700 *2 plus 560. Physique, 200. Spirit, 180. Specialty, Energy Gem, Super 5/Day. Skills, slightly. Equipment, slightly. Healy checked the attributes of a Meow and improved it by a small amount. Now the total attributes of the Catwomen have reached 2,740, which is a full increase of more than 500 points compared to 2,192 at Tier 4. In addition to the improvement in the strength of the Catwomen, what makes Healy even more excited is that the number of energy gems produced per day has been increased. 1 Catwoman has 5 coins a day, and 20 Catwomen make 100 coins a day. This is equivalent to 50 spirit mines, with a daily output of 2,500 spirit coins. Moreover, Healy can recruit 10 Catwomen every day. I believe that it will not take long for the spirit coins in Healy's hand to reach a level that can't be spent. The cat ladies waited for their ranks to improve. Healy once again had 20 extra energy gems in his hand. He led the team back to the original path, found RAF again, and exchanged 10 extra gold runes. Ralph, I have established a territory nearby, or you send someone to stay with me. If I have energy gems, I will trade directly. It will save trouble. This transaction was completed, and Healy did not rush to transfer the gold mine talisman. When turned into a spirit mine, but discussed with RAF. Yes, but you are not worried that our Jinkla clan is too strong and threatens your territory. RAF touched his big bald head and asked Healy suspiciously. RAF asks this. Actually, the reason is very simple. Almost all native lords in the world of lords regard their territories very importantly. Lords generally will not allow a race stronger than themselves to station troops in their territories, unless the lord has surrendered to each other. I think that energy gems are more attractive to noble tribes than territories. Healy smiled and said, acting like he trusts the RAF and the Jinkla. In fact, RAF didn't know that for Healy, the realm was just a residence, and his main development was his invincible talented lord space. My love really didn't read you wrong. It's refreshing enough, so I will go to your territory myself. Love grinned. He liked Healy's trust very much. After discussing with RAF, Healy told RAF the location of the number 1 territory, and then left with the Catwomen and the undead bone dragon. On RAF's side, he still needs to return to the tribe to discuss specific arrangements with the tribe, such as how many people to send to Healy's territory, and the manpower arrangements for transporting gold runes and energy gems to and from each day. On the way back, Healy collected 10 top-grade gold mine runes into the Lord's space, turning them into 10 spirit mines. The number of spirit coins in his hand increases by 500, and the final number is 562. As for the number of spirit mines in Healy's hands, it is 65. The inventory of energy gems has been emptied and is currently 0. For other resource points, such as gold mines, Healy has no statistics. In his Lord world, various common resource points are next to each other, and a lot of resources are generated every day. Take gold coins as an example. The daily output of gold coins in Healy's hands has passed 3 million. Because Healy's main recruiting unit is the skeleton of Catwoman, and the Night Catwoman summoning station is integrated into Healy's Lord space. Except for the gold coin when recruiting, the monthly commission is no longer needed. As for skeletons, corpses are used when recruiting, and there is no recruitment cost. Commissions are also not required. In addition to the fact that the combat power of the skeleton arms is weaker than the arms of the same rank, the consumption is basically 0. Asterisk. Back in the number 1 territory, Healy did not rest, took another undead bone dragon, and rushed to a Meow and the others to detect the ethnic tribe. A Meow and the others have discovered a total of 7 ethnic tribes during this period of time, of which 3 have 10th ranks and 4 have 9th ranks. Without mentioning the 3 holy ranks, Healy is directly absorbed by the Lord space. Now the progress has reached 60%. With 4 holy rank summoning stations, Healy can obtain 1 more summoning station integrated into the Lord space. Location. As for the 4 9th tier summoning stations, Healy continued to save them. It is worth mentioning that the summoning station of each species is not unique. For example, the summoning station of the Crypt Demon Spider. Healy met 2 Crypt Demon Spider race camps this time. After they were destroyed, Healy again obtained 2 elite 9th tier Crypt Demon summoning stations. In addition to the Crypt Demon Spider, the summoning Teoshung that Healy obtained this time, the Forest Snake Python is also repeated, plus the one obtained in the morning, and now he has 2 Forest Snake summoning platforms in his hand. Another elite 9th tier summoning station, Tauren Summoning Station, high level. In terms of resource points, Healy also harvested a bunch, and the daily output of gold coins directly reached more than 5 million. In addition to the summoning station and resource points, there is another gain, which is a large number of corpses. This time, Healy didn't immediately recruit the corpses of Tier 9 and Tier 10 into skeleton arms, but kept them. What's a little bit pitted is that the corpse of the Crypt Demon Spider cannot summon the skeleton arms, so Healy originally killed more than 400 Tier 9 arms, but there were only more than 200 Tier 9 corpses in his hand. There are more holy corpses than 9th corpses, there are 300. As for those common Tier 6 arms corpses used to guard resource points, there are more than 4,000, and Tier 7 has more than 6,000. The reason why Tier 6 corpses are less than Tier 7 corpses is also because of the Crypt Demon Spiders. Their resource points are guarded by spider units, and they cannot be transformed into skeleton units either. This wave of harvesting was completed, and when he returned to Territory 1, the sky was already dark. Looking at the resources in his board, Healy chose to upgrade his territory level. Territory number 1. Affiliation, July. Grade, LV4. Ordinary buildings, Lord's Mansion, Resident House * 1000. Special building, none. Summoning station, none. Defense facilities, city walls, 4. Defense equipment, none. Territory blessing, all attributes increased by 4%. Effective within the territory. Territory specialty, none. Territory reduction and exemption, 4% reduction in recruitment fees and commission fees. Bind to take effect on the summoning station in the territory. Required for upgrade, gold coins, 0/20W. Wood, 0/200. Stone, 0/200. Guarding forces. Night Catwoman of Tier 5, Master 20. Tier 12 Undead Bone Dragon, Master 2. Tier 10 Undead Bone Dragon, Hero 8. Tier 8 Skeleton Arms, Elite 300. Tier 7 Skeleton Arms, Elite 450. Tier 6 Skeleton Arms, Elite 180. After the level of the number 1 realm was upgraded to level 4, there was not much change. The upper limit of residential houses reached 10,000. However, there are not many units in Healy's hands that need houses. 1,000 is enough for a while. Now, there is no need for expansion for the time being. The skeleton arms are arranged to guard everywhere, and the Catwomen are free to move around. It stands to reason that the most scientific method is that Healy should go offline and sleep at this time. But looking at the charming Catwomen, Healy gave up this most scientific method, but gritted his teeth and dragged a Meow and another Catwoman into the Lord's mansion. Another Catwoman named Aya, a Catwoman that Healy liked very much in his last life. To say that Catwoman is the best in body and appearance. But their faces are not the same, each has its own characteristics. All Catwomen are beautiful, but with Healy's aesthetics, there is always a difference. Aya is the one that Healy particularly likes. Catwoman will never refuse Healy's order, and they even like to be close to Healy. What happens? In the Lord's mansion, a crazy night. Only active output for a short period of time in the early stage, and passive output later. In the early morning, watching the two glowing eyes of Amao and Aya, Healy was embarrassed to go offline. At the same time, he secretly decided in his heart that he must wait as soon as possible. The rank have been upgraded, and now his body of the 6 scums is hard to say. When he was offline in the early morning, Healy went to sleep with his head covered. It may be that he consumed too much energy in the game. It is also insinuated in reality. Healy can easily go to sleep. Asterisk. In the morning, washing and landing, Healy once again returned to the world of Lord. Meow and the others have all gone out to investigate the surrounding intelligence. In the territory, only the skeleton soldiers stand everywhere, like statues, quietly guarding the territory. It didn't take long for Healy to go online. Meow and the others returned one after another. However, because the nearby ethnic tribes were almost cleaned up, and they had to wait for Healy to go online, they did not run too far. A morning, Meow and the others did not gain much. There are only 2 9th order tribes. The 2 tier 9 race tribes Healy didn't bother to do at once, planning to wait until the afternoon or evening to deal with them together. When Ami and the others came back, Healy first used the Night Catwoman summoning station, 9 spirit coins plus gold coins, and summoned 10 new Night Catwoman. Then they collected the best energy gems in their hands. The number was 150. Yesterday, RAF had settled in Territory 1. Healy found RAF with the best energy gem and exchanged it for 75 gold mine runes. After the gold mine runes were received in the Lord space, the number of spirit mines in Healy's hand reached 140, and the daily income of spirit coins, 7,000. It takes 4,000 spirit coins to upgrade the 5th tier Dark Night Catwoman summoning station to tier 6. Healy did not hesitate to use the spirit coins to upgrade the Night Catwoman summoning station to the 6th stage. After the 6th level, the number of special energy gems for the Catwomen will increase by 1 per day. The new 30 energy gems, Healy, continue to exchange with RAF, and there are 15 more spirit mines and 750 spirit coins. After some operations, Healy now has 155 spirit mines in stock. Spirit coins are 4,303 pieces. Catwoman of tier 6, 30 people. Number of energy gems, 0 pieces. Dark Knight Catwoman, female. Faction, Orcs. Level, LV6. Grade, Dominate. Power, 480, 240 2. Speed, 2352, 840 2 plus 672. Physique, 240. Spirit, 216. Specialty, Energy Gem, Super 6/Day. After handling the affairs of the Evran mountain range, Healy stepped onto the teleportation altar and headed to Iwaki City. Because as early as the morning when Healy logged into the World of Lords, he received a message from Limuyun. Limuyun had already obtained several random scrolls, including a set of Hell and Humans requested by Healy. When they came to the city and met in the old place, Healy and Limuyun exchanged greetings with each other. Healy gave Limuyun a Crypt Demon Spider's summoning table and successfully obtained 3 random scrolls from Limuyun. Limuyun had a total of 3 scrolls, namely Hell, Human, and 1 Elven. When handing the random scrolls of Humans and Hell to Healy, Limuyun handed the random scrolls, Elves, to Healy together. Limuyun yelled that she was taken advantage of by Healy. In fact, she was very grateful to Healy. Her power had Healy's early help. Now the development in the World of Lords has surpassed many of the top big guilds she knows. Power. On Healy's side, he didn't refuse the wizard's random scroll, thanking him, and Healy left directly. Without using the portal of Iwaki City, Healy went straight to the field, then took out the random scroll, Hell, and tore it open. The next moment, Healy was wrapped in a burst of red glow and disappeared from the same place. At the same time, in the Hell world without the sky, near an active volcano that is still erupting volcanic magma, on a teleportation altar with a style different from the teleportation altar in the Evran Mountains, Healy's figure appeared. After looking at the surrounding environment a bit, Healy directly sacrificed the undead transformation token, and released a large number of corpses in the 1000 treasure ring at the same time, and then began to recruit skeleton troops. After a long period of time, all the corpses in Healy's hands were transformed into skeleton units. At this time, he was surrounded by a vast expanse of white and various shapes of skeleton units, which felt a little endless. At this time, the skeleton branch next to Healy is probably Tier 8 Skeleton Arms, Elite 300. Tier 7 Skeleton Arms, Elite 200. Tier 5 Skeleton Arms, Normal 6000. Tier 4 Skeleton Arms, Normal 4000. With more than 10,000 skeleton arms in his hand, Healy can be considered settled down. With so many arms units, as long as you don't encounter particularly powerful ethnic tribes, you don't have to worry at all. In the World of Lords, there are not too many places like the Evran Mountains where the lowest ranks are 8th and 9th ranks of elites. Asterisk. Skeleton arms are not consumed, and it is easy to pull up a huge army, which is an advantage. But they also have many shortcomings. For example, they don't have an IQ, and they can't complete any exploration tasks like normal arms. Their role is to fight. There is no scout in his hand, but this can't trouble Healy. You know, Healy still has 6 tier 9 and 1 tier 8 summoning stations. These summoning stations are taken out and recruited. Healy has 1 more unit of Elite 8th arms and 6 unit Elite 9 tier arms. With a slight order, the arms of these 7 units spread out and began to help Healy explore the surrounding situation. Sentinels are best to use human-shaped units, they can speak, and the information they find will be clear. Among the 7 units recruited by Healy, 3 of the Jungle Hunter, Bearman, and Tauren are human-shaped units, and the remaining 4 are in the form of beasts. But the one who found the target was the Silver Moon Wolf among the 7 units. Healy was unable to communicate with it. However, through the physical movements of the Silver Moon Wolf, Healy judged that it had made a big discovery. Healy has never been to the Hell World in the previous life, and the information he knows is only released by other players who have been to the Hell World on the internet, and he has 5 years of imprisonment in the middle. For such a long time, the only thing he knows, some memories are also vague, so he now has a black eye about the situation on the Hell World. Lead the way. The Silver Moon Wolf found the target. Healy was holding the tens of thousands of skeleton arms in his hand, and he would definitely not be counseled. Under the leadership of Silver Moon Wolf, Healy led his army to a huge cave soon. The entrance to the cave is huge, with a height of 20 to 30 meters. The mouth of the hole is dark, like a huge mouth swallowing a person. The Silver Moon who led the way sniffed at the entrance of the cave. Oh, the Silver Moon Wolf howled Healy. Because Healy masters the Silver Moon Wolf's summoning station, he can still understand the basic meaning of howling Silver Moon Wolf. Many, but not a big threat to it. Go, the skeleton opens the way. Healy made a decisive decision from the message transmitted by the Silver Moon Wolf and launched an attack on the cave. A large number of Tier 4 and Tier 5 skeleton arms were at the forefront, and Healy led the team slowly into the cave. The cave was very dark, especially after turning a turn, almost unable to see his fingers. Healy quickly took out some torches from the 1000 treasure ring, inserted them into the bone racks of dozens of skeletons, and then lit them before letting them go. The skeletons with torches on the skeletons were scattered to the edge area. As a result, a little light appeared in the dark cave. Suddenly, the Silver Moon Wolf next to Healy fell low, and the other 6 Elite Tier 9 units also took precautions. Defense. Healy reacted extremely quickly. He did not wait for the 7-unit arms to be prompted, and took the lead in shouting, and at the same time commanded the skeleton arms to prepare for battle. Bang bang bang. Healy had just finished shouting here, and in the darkness, a large group of humanoid dwarfs rushed out and directly fought with Healy's skeleton army. These little dwarf monsters, Healy estimated that the height is only about 1.5 meters, the whole body is dark green, human-shaped, slightly short, and very fat. Because Healy is not familiar with the monsters in the Hell World, although Healy has a bit of an impression of this dwarf monster, he can't remember the specific name and rank attributes. However, it was hard to help Healy. He then threw it out with a probing technique, and the little monster's data was immediately read. Green mojo, male. Faction, Hell. Level, LV4. Grade, normal. Strength, 40, 20*2. Speed, 12. Physique, 48, 24*2. Spirit, 8. Specialty, none. Skill, full collision. Equipment, simple leather armor, set. Full charge, when running and hitting the target, when the skill is activated, the speed increases by 80%, the longest sprint duration, 10 seconds, and the cooling time, 15 seconds. Note, during collision, you cannot change the direction after selecting the direction, asterisk. The attributes of the Green Goblin are rubbish, similar to the Tier 4th and 5th skeletons in Healy's hands. The Green Goblin can take advantage of the Tier 4 skeleton arms, but it will suffer from the Tier 5 skeleton arms. However, the Green Goblin can't kill the Tier 4 skeleton arms in seconds, and similarly, the Tier 5 skeleton arms can't easily kill the Green Goblin arms in seconds. The strength of the two sides is equal, so the rest basically depends on who has more people. However, there are 500 units of Tier 7 to 8 arms on Healy's side. Seeing that the war is anxious, Healy waved his hand. All the high-level arms are pushed up. Under Healy's order, not only the 7th and 8th level skeletons around 500 units, but also the 7 newly recruited troops around Healy rushed up. Although the cave was large, it was ultimately restricted by terrain. After a while, the front row of Healy basically became a high-level unit. Those Tier 4 and Tier 5 skeletons can only pick up leaks and make up the knife behind. Seeing that the Tier 4 and 5 skeletons are a bit idle, Healy ordered them to gather the corpses, and then used the undead transformation token in his hand. A lot of Green the Mojo corpse became an ordinary second-order cannon fodder skeleton. When these cannon fodder skeletons come out, Healy will order them to press to the forefront for the first time, as a cover for the exported high-level arms. Under such crazy horizontal push, within a short time, more than 20,000 Green Goblins were wiped out. On Healy's side, only 2 or 3 units of high-level troops were killed, and they were all Tier 7 skeleton troops. The loss of Tier 4 and 5 skeleton arms is a bit big, not about 1,000 units. However, now the number of Tier 2 skeleton arms in Healy's hand has reached 14,000 units. The Green Goblin is a humanoid monster, and there is a chance that it will explode gold coins. However, Healy, who is now earning millions of gold coins a day, totally looks down on the little gold coins that these Green Goblin explode. Simply line up your troops so that all the second-order skeletons are in front. There are some high-level arms in the second-order skeletons, so that the value of low-level and high-level skeletons can be perfectly displayed. After advancing about 5 or 6 kilometers, the cave suddenly opened up a lot. At the same time, a large campsite appeared in front of Healy. In the area where the camp is located, there are some fluorescent grasses and trees. I suddenly saw this scene. It was a bit like a fairy tale world. No one would have thought that such a scene would actually appear in the Hell world. This camp is obviously the Green Goblin's nest that Healy Group destroyed just now, and there are some Green Goblin inside, but judging from their size, most of them are old, weak, sick, and pregnant. Even without the high-level skeletons, the 14,000 second-order skeletons smashed up. After a while, Healy recruited more than 1,000 units of second-order arms. However, because this wave of battles did not involve the participation of high-level arms, these old, weak, sick, and pregnant green magic spirits are also Tier 4, and Healy's Tier 2 skeletons have also suffered a little loss. These more than 1,000 new Tier 2s have been added. The skeletons almost made up for the loss. At this time, the number of Tier 2 skeletons in Healy's hand remained around 14,000. Having completely wiped out all the Green Goblins, Healy found 5 statues of the same size as the Green Goblins in their camp, that is, the summoning platform. Without hesitation, Healy took these summoning stations away. The 5 summoning stations can actually grow to a scale of 20,000. Obviously, in the world of Hell, the troops of the Hell camp have unique conditions. After destroying the green magic spirit, Healy's Guardian Angel summoning stage's first ring mission completed more than 20%. Healy was not in a hurry at this time, because obviously there was more than a tribe of green goblins in the cave. Behind their racial camp, Healy found the hole to go deeper. The deeper the cave, the bigger the cave. When Healy first came in, more than 10,000 units of troops could only be lined up in a snake formation. At this time, there were already 25,000 units of troops, but they were arranged in an oval formation. Asterisk. The cave is not straight, winding around, but the width has not decreased. After walking for a while, a deer sounded. Why is there a deer here? Healy was puzzled. Healy finished speaking and waited for a long time without any response. He saw that in addition to the skeleton arms, the remaining 7 ranks 8 and 9 arms were not insects or beasts, or orcs. The communication ability is almost zero. Slightly awkwardly touched his nose, cough cough, be careful. Then Healy ordered the opponents. After Healy gave the order, the position of his skeleton soldiers shrank a little, and at the same time, the sound of the deer was louder. Immediately afterwards, a large number of dense footsteps sounded. These footsteps had a fast rhythm and sounded like running. Soon, there was a fierce encounter in the front of the skeleton formation under Healy. Nowadays, instead of torches, only the fluorescence of plants, Healy's sight can also see a section. The monsters encountered by the skeleton soldiers are mainly brown. They have a single-sided black antler on their head and hold a black stick of unknown material. 1 meter 8. Seeing this kind of monster, Healy did not recall, but simply and directly took a record of exploration. Dark Horned Deer, Male. Faction, Hell. Level, LV5. Grade, Normal. Power, 50, 25*2. Speed, 50, 25*2. Physique, 25. Spirit, 5. Specialty, none. Skill, Violent Blessing. Equipment, simple leather armor, suit, black short stick, weapon, *2. Violent Blessing. When the skill is turned on, the strength is increased by 50%, the duration, 5 seconds, and the cooling time, 8 seconds. The detection technique is very useful, and the information of the dark horned deer was immediately collected by Healy. When Healy checked the information of the dark unicorn, the Tier 2 skeleton soldier in the front row suffered heavy casualties. A large number of Tier 2 skeleton soldiers transformed from the green magic spirits were easily smashed into skulls by the dark unicorns using 2 black sticks in their hands, and then turned into useless bone sticks. The second-order skeleton soldiers slaughtered like a piece of paper in front of the dark horned deer. However, for the high-level arms that are mixed in the second-order skeleton formation, the slaughter of the dark horned deer at this time is the same as cutting melons and vegetables. Moreover, the dark horned deer are slaughtering the second-order skeleton soldiers, and they are unable to effectively gang fights against the high-ranking troops on Healy's side. As a result, it caused an interesting phenomenon. The dark horned deer were slaughtering the second-order skeleton soldiers frantically, while the high-level skeleton soldiers and the recruitment of 7 units were quickly slaughtering the dark horned deer. There are also Tier 4 and Tier 5 skeleton soldiers who are mixed in the ranks of Tier 2 skeleton soldiers. If they are taken out separately, they are not the opponents of the dark horned deer, but they are covered by Tier 2 skeleton soldiers. These Tier 4 and 5 skeletons soldiers can often achieve some unexpected gains. The number of dark unicorns is more than that of the green magic spirits. The total number is about 30,000, like the sound of deer on the battlefield of a meat grinder, and the clacking of skeletons, one after another. A battle involving more than 10,000 arms on both sides is going on frantically in the cave. In the battle, the second-order skeleton soldier lost the most. However, in the battle, Healy held the undead transformation token and kept turning the piled-up dark horned deer corpses into ordinary third-order skeleton soldiers. Then go to the battlefield again. A large number of Tier 3 skeleton soldiers appeared to make up for the massive loss of Tier 2 skeleton soldiers. The battle lasted for nearly half an hour, and the last dark one-horned deer fell in a pool of blood, and Healy achieved a phased victory. After that, Healy led a team to find the dark horned deer camp and removed it. The same 5 dark horned deer summoning stations were taken by Healy. There are also 5 summoning stands for the dark one-horned deer. When putting them away, Healy was a little puzzled. There are also 5 summoning stands. Why are there 30,000 for the Dark One Horned and only 20,000 for the Green Mojo? Healy's question was definitely not answered by anyone at this time, but Healy's thinking turned faster, and he quickly figured it out by himself. Yes, the strong in the Hell world is respected, and the Dark Unicorns are stronger than the Green Goblins. The two are in one area, the Dark Horned Deer get more resources, and the development must be better than the Green Mojo. Asterisk. After figuring out why the Dark One-Horned Deer had a higher rank than the Green Mojo, and there were more of them, Healy began to count the units in his hand. In the previous battle, Healy's Tier 2 skeletons were almost completely lost, and there were 3 or 2 kittens left, and the number was not even 100. Healy had given up statistics. As for the Tier 3 skeletons, there are a lot of them, a total of 18,000. These tens of thousands of Tier 3 skeletons are all transformed from the corpses of the Tier 5 Dark One-Horned Deer. There should have been 30,000 units of Tier 3 arms, but in the previous battles, Healy converted to recruit Tier 3 skeleton arms while fighting. A large number of newly recruited Tier 3 skeleton arms were put back into the cannon fodder position, waiting for Healy. After winning the battle, the skeleton soldiers of Tier 3 also lost a half. In addition to Tier 2 and Tier 3 skeleton soldiers, there were originally more than 2,000 Tier 4 skeleton soldiers on Healy's side, but now there are only about 1,000 left, and Tier 5, from the beginning of 6,000, is the same as the Green Demon. After the Jing fight, there were 5,006 remaining. At the end of the battle, 1,009 were missing, and only 3,007 were left. At this time, the skeleton arms in Healy's hands are probably Tier 8 skeleton arms, Elite 300. Tier 7 skeleton arms, Elite 200. Tier 5 skeleton arms, Normal 3,700. Tier 4 skeleton arms, Normal 1,000. Tier 3 skeleton arms, Normal 18,000. After sorting out the remaining unit information in his hand, Healy frowned. According to the previous data analysis of the Green Goblin and the Dark One-Horned Deer, the number and rank of the Hell tribes that may appear this time will be improved. At this time, the number of units in Healy's hands was a bit difficult to fight. However, if Healy were to give up like this, he would be a little bit unwilling to visit the Hell world, and it would be a shame that he didn't complete the task of a guardian angel summoning station. With a little fluke in his mind, Healy led the team to move forward. Soon, I met with a new monster. This monster is dark green, about 1.9 meters tall, holding a mace, and bulging muscles all over the body. All men and women have animal skins tied around their waists to cover vital parts. The exploration technique was used, and soon the monster's information was found. Horror, male. Faction, Hell. Level, LV6. Grade, normal. Strength, 60, 30*2. Speed, 24. Physique, 60, 30*2. Spirit, 12. Specialty, none. Skills, thick skin and thick flesh. Equipment, ironwood mace. Rough skin and thick flesh, injuries can be cured quickly, and attributes cannot be reflected. The recovery speed is related to the rank and grade. The opponent's rank is as expected by Healy, it is the 6th rank, and the number is more than double that of Healy's side. There are only 500 high-level arms in his hand. If he fights hard, it is unknown whether he can win. Once the arms in his hand are all out, Healy has only the strength of the 3rd-tier elite, and he may not even be able to return to the teleportation altar. Not wanting to confess his virgin here, Healy decisively issued an order to block 18,000 units of Tier 3 skeleton soldiers, and he led the remaining Tier 4 and above skeleton arms to evacuate. Tier 3 skeleton arms, even if the number is close to 20,000, it doesn't hurt at all to abandon Healy. This thing can be transformed into a lot of recruits in one battle. There were 18,000 Tier 3 skeleton soldiers, and the horror had slaughtered for a long time. When all Tier 3 skeletons were killed in battle, Healy had already passed the camp of the Green Goblin and was about to leave the cave. Skeletons are particularly good. There is no morale. As long as they give an offensive order, they will fight until they die or lose their combat effectiveness. Bringing about 5,000 skeleton soldiers to the teleportation altar before coming, Healy directly manipulated the Lord's page to establish a territory here. Like the number 1 territory, after deducting Healy's corresponding resources, a large number of buildings were erected. This time Healy did not choose to build a large number of residential houses. There were only 10 at the beginning, plus a Lord's mansion. Healy did not build any other buildings. It was the level of the territory. Healy quickly ordered it to level 4. The number of territory is the same. The properties of number 2 territory are almost the same as those of number 1. Healy's luck for the European Emperor has not continued, and the location of the territory's specialties is still missing. P.S. There are 5 chapters for Flowers Plus, 1 chapter for Rewards, and 1 chapter for Monthly Pass. There will be 7 changes every day after that, until it is made up. The chapter in the previous chapter was typed incorrectly, and the author changed it here. I don't know when it can be changed on the app asterisk. After checking the situation in the 2nd territory a little bit, Healy gave orders to the skeleton soldiers and 7 recruits to guard this teleportation altar. Then he didn't go to the teleportation altar and crushed the randomness of the human world on the spot. Real. The next moment, Healy appeared on a large desert next door, and at a glance, it was all Gobi desert and yellow sand. Without much exploration of the surrounding situation, Healy recorded the coordinates of the teleportation altar on the operation board, and then directly used the teleportation altar to go to the Mountain City. Mountain City Healy is the first time to come. This is a small city, and it was not in the city announced when the Lord's World opened the service. Healy came here on purpose for such a small city, and nothing else, because Yafeng Hemming left the City of Angels and chose to develop here. The reason Healy came here was to give Yafeng Hemming equipment and let her do the trial task. The two people made an appointment to meet at the entrance of the trial hall. Healy had to come before Yafeng Hemming and had nothing to do. He stood next to the entrance of the trial hall, and then leaned against the wall to count the gains and losses during this period of time. Oh, thinking about it, Healy suddenly slapped his head with his hands, feeling regretful. Healy regretted it. Naturally, he had absorbed several holy level summoning tables in the Lord's space prematurely. You know, Healy has absorbed a total of 6 holy rank summoning platforms. If the Lord's space is not absorbed, he can recruit 60 units of holy ranked arms, this time with spirit coins. When he met tier 6 orcs in the caves of the Hell World before, if Healy had 60 units of Saint tier arms, plus other skeleton arms cannon fodder, he would continue to use the dead orcs killed to transform tier 4 skeletons. In this way, he basically won the battle. However, because of the rebirth, the things experienced in this life have changed a lot from the previous life, and Healy did not expect this. Originally, Healy had the undead bone dragon that dominates tier 12, and the Dark Knight Catwoman who dominated tier 6, which can be picked up at random, which can sling elite tier 10 units. Healy directly integrates its summoning stations. There is no problem. What's the matter? Sighing. Just when Healy regretted secretly, Yafeng Hemming's figure appeared. Behind her was a group of little goblins, about 40 units, and some from the city. The number of recruited human camp arms is more than a dozen units. Most of the ranks of these human camp arms are tier 2 and a small part are tier 3. With such a large team, Yafeng Hemming attracted a lot of attention when she walked by, especially because she was a beauty herself, and she attracted countless eyes. Obviously, Yafeng Hemming, who owns the summoning station, worked hard and used the recruited little goblins to make money, and the snowballs in his hand became bigger and bigger. Little goblins are a tier 2 unit, but the cost of recruitment only requires 100 gold coins. If you recruit several little goblins in a row, you can go to the wild to hunt some beasts, even tier 1 and tier 2 units. It's nothing. I thought of a mistake and wasted a precious item. Healy found out that he now lied casually and began to restrain himself. This time he was ambiguous, but he didn't hold back his tongue. Okay. Yafeng Hemming is not very old, but she is a sensible girl. Seeing Healy, she didn't want to say anything, so she stopped asking. Of course, there is another reason why Yafeng Hemming is so sensible. She is the active one in her relationship with Healy, or in the relationship that has not yet begun to germinate. The relationship between two people, whoever takes the initiative, loses, the male chases the female, then the relationship between the two people in the future, the high probability is that the status of the man is lower than the woman, and the same is true for the female chasing the male. Humble love. Equipment for you. You go to the trial task first. You are developing well. It is estimated that you will be able to establish a territory soon. I can rely on you to take care of it in the future. Healy took Yafeng Hemming to the corner. Then he took off the equipment to her while joking. P.S. Let's change the rules again. The 3 additions for flowers, rewards, and comments remain unchanged. The monthly pass plus change is still 20 per change, but the monthly pass plus is not included in the cap. Today, the 5 shifts are updated normally, the flowers plus 1 shift, the reward plus 1 shift, and the monthly pass will also increase by 1 shift, for a total of 8 shifts. You have a lot of free things you can vote for. Adding more items will accumulate, and they will be added together after they are put on the shelves. Thanks to the quiet little cat for giving a big reward, thanks, and clasped fists. Asterisk. Let me tell you, I'll take care of me in the future, or else, give you small shoes. Yafeng Hemming also followed Healy's words, making it thunder a look. Go ahead, come on. Seeing Yafeng Hemming finished wearing the equipment, Healy took the initiative to end the topic and let her go for a trial. Yafeng Hemming is a girl. Hearing Healy's words, although he still wanted to stay and talk to Healy, he was still thin-skinned and entered the trial hall. Speaking of equipment, this kind of garbage equipment, Healy really does not lack this set, but he lied before, and now he is going to go round. At this time, he must maintain the importance of this set of equipment. Slightly boring, relying on a wooden pillar standing on the ground, Healy looked at the rushing players and troops on the street. Suddenly, a woman with burgundy hair, normal human female height, but a very good figure appeared in front of Healy. The beautiful figure attracts Healy's sight, making Healy unable to help but fix his gaze on her face. With big eyes, pointed chin, and perfect face, there is a natural difference from an artificial beauty. This woman, it belongs to the kind that feels amazing at a glance. Seeing this woman, Healy was stunned for an instant, not because of how amazing her face is, but because Healy remembers this face. Flowers and birds. Healy hurriedly called to her as she watched this woman about to pass. In the world of lords, there is no player IQ crushing the aborigines. In the world of lords, there are many aborigines with extremely high IQs, much higher than ordinary players. In the world of lords, it is not uncommon for aborigines to pit players. He was stopped by Healy, and Hua Qiandiao looked at him questioningly. Do you know me? Huakaniao was very curious when he called out her name to Healy. She had just arrived in Mountain City, and she had just been born. She belonged to a little-known little figure in the world of lords. Healy could actually call her the name, which made her have to be curious. Is it convenient to talk to another place? Healy didn't express his purpose in a hurry, but took off his mask and said with a smile, "Okay, you lead the way." Seeing Healy take off the mask, there was a slight smile on his face, and he nodded in agreement. The two moved towards an open restaurant nearby. On the way, Healy sent a message to Yafeng Hemming and asked her to wait for him after completing the trial task. Before long, Healy and Hua Qiandiao were sitting in the restaurant. "If you have anything, just say it." Huakaniao was very straightforward. After he was seated, as soon as Healy ordered the food, she spoke first. "I know your identity and talent through some special channels, so I want to recruit you to help me take care of everything in business." Healy speaks very directly, without turning around, directly speaking out the purpose. "Sorry, I refuse." Huakaniao's answer was equally straightforward. Huakaniao refused too simply, a bit beyond Healy's expectation. He was taken aback for a moment, and his words were stuck for 2 or 3 seconds before he said, "Can I ask the reason?" Seeing that Healy didn't want to give up, Hua Qiandiao frowned. She didn't directly answer Healy. "Then you first talk about you want to recruit me. What bargaining chip do you have?" Healy's mouth rose up when he heard Huakaniao asking for a bargaining chip. With his current background, he really didn't believe that he couldn't move Huakaniao. "Look at these." After pondering for a while, Healy took out 10 summoning stations from the 1000 treasure ring, which were the green magic spirits and the dark unicorns who had just obtained from the hell world. Looking at the 10 summoning stations that Healy took out, Hua Qiandiao shook his head. "This is only a 4th tier and 5th tier summoning station. You can only recruit 4th tier and 5th tier mid-tier units. If you sell mid-tier units, it is what you say. If you need my help to take care of the business, forget it. What I want to sell is the summoning station." Healy said again. He was calm at this time. Asterisk.